What's up, Vooka Nation? Hopefully everyone's doing good. It's a Tuesday morning. Sorry we couldn't stream yesterday because we experienced load reduction in our area. And as a result, on Saturday we were at the mall and just checking if my sound is audible, right? So we're gonna fix this live, and I think it could be this one. Or is it this one, Steve? No.
Speak.
Hello?
Okay, guy.
No, it's there, but the audio levels are quite low, like extremely low. So we're gonna troubleshoot this live, Vooka Nation, and yeah, man. Thank you for making the time. Yo, there's a lot that we have to share. So it's this guy right here. You just need to follow. The one in green, I think, yeah, it's the second channel. The one in green. Second channel. Green, yes. That's the one. That's the one. There we go. Boost it a bit more and then turn down channel 4. Yep, that's the one. That's the one. Okay, so that fader, just turn it up a little bit, the fader. There we go. Yep, that's looking good. And then on the software there, you need to turn it back to 0. Okay. Okay, so in terms of gymnastics, no, I'm cool for now. In terms of gymnastics, Steve is out here being an acrobatic gymnast. But all is well, Vooka Nation. And yeah, man, welcome to the Vooka Breakfast Show. Happy to be here. Guys, there's just so much we need to share because the past Saturday, we were at the Dobsonville Mall. And they were having a mother and daughter event where they are raising warriors, essentially. For me personally, I felt like it was a good weekend. And such initiatives coming from the mall, it just goes to show that sometimes we think that relationships between mother and daughter should be automatic, but that's not the case, though. That's not the case. But it was good to see because we had 4 keynote speakers, or they had, but I say we because we were also there. And the event was also live streamed on our platform as well, right here on YouTube. So if you do have time, please go check it out. And it was very insightful. And we're also going to be having one of the speakers come through later today. Although it won't be live, we're going to pre-record that one and we will flight it on the channel. But it was epic to see where there's Steve, what's her name again? The lady that you spoke to? The pageant, Petunia, right? Yeah, I mean, she does amazing work with young girls where she is grooming them. I remember, one thing that really stood out for me is that with the girls that she's working with, if any of them are entertaining boys and all of that, she will personally kick them, right? So for me, I feel like she is a role model. And when I say role model, it's not just someone that we say, it's just a role model, but just actually modeling that lifestyle, no pun intended, because she also runs an agency as well. So it was quite an epic event. And yeah, like I mentioned, it is in the stream today. So we're doing things a little bit different because on that very same Saturday, Steve and myself, when we got to the mall, one of the cameras died, right? So right now, we currently making use of one cam, even though you'll see multiple views or shots that are being done right here in studio, but we only have one cam because the other one just decided to die on us. And we were planning to do a 2-cam live stream, but we ended up using 1 cam nonetheless. But I was just reminded about the spirit that we have, which is the Vooka Nation spirit, which means that, look, despite the challenges, despite anything that might seem to deter you, we remain focused and we move forward, right? So, yep. So the Canon is dead. We tried to troubleshoot it. We tried all sorts of things. I mean, we looked at videos online on YouTube on how to best troubleshoot this, but nothing worked. And this is the second time this is happening, because last year, I think it was around October, it did the same thing. So we had it repaired, and it worked up until Saturday. So I sent an email to Canon, and they asked that I bring it in. However, the repair warranty is only 3 months. And yeah, so they asked that I send it through and they'll take a look at it. But chances are they'll have a look and then they'll give us a quote like they did last year, which, drum roll, it was 6,200 rands to get the camera repaired. So, yeah, but look, the weekend was good. Nonetheless, the weekend was good. The food was good. The company was good. The relationships that we got to establish was good, because as you would have known, when was it again? In June, we worked with the Protea Glen Mall, and now we're in partnership with the Dobsonville Mall. So it shows that the Vooka Nation brand is going places. And in terms of, creating a positive image of the brand, it was really paramount for us to make sure that we adhere to that, because it hit me on Saturday that the brand that we are building is one that is family friendly. Positive vibes, nothing that is negative, nothing that would put us on the spotlight for all things negative, but putting together a brand that is family friendly, motivational, covers, a bit of everything, but at the core, it is motivational. So that we are super excited about, and we keep marching forward. So just this morning when I woke up, because in terms of my daily routine, I typically open YouTube and watch some inspirational videos. Now, I say inspirational. Sometimes, yes, it could be a talk or motivation, but I tend to find motivation from the weirdest ways. Like, I would watch a video that has nothing to do with motivation, but for me personally, I'm able to see something within that video. And the one that I was watching this morning was by Stephen, not our Stephen, but Stephen also motivates me. He does. So he was talking about raising the bar from a standard that you set, right? So you set a high bar, a high standard, and then you come through a month or two later, and then you further raise that standard. It's one of the most difficult things, but I mean, he sets a standard so high, and then he has to come through and break that standard. The same is true with Usain Bolt. He slashes the world record. He creates his own world record, and then he comes through the next Olympics and he slashes that record. So the bar is quite high, and despite all of the challenges, for me personally, I'm looking at raising the bar again, and mentally so, I do recognize what's needed for one to raise the bar, because it does take a lot to raise the bar. And I've also been doing some mental gymnastics just to make sure that I understand what's needed next, right? So we raise the bar, and I'm also encouraging you at home to look and dig into your life to see which aspects or which part of your life would you like to raise the bar. There's a few things that I've done in my life that I've seen that I am raising the bar. And when I start stacking some of the habits that I'm slowly developing, it's at this point where I realize that, I think I might be onto something where you only start with one thing, just one thing, and you become consistent in that thing. So I'll give a shout out to Yeshua, who was once on the show, and he spoke of inconsistency, that this is the one thing that's plaguing the youth out there, that they start something and they don't have the momentum to continue, and as a result they become inconsistent. So I started one thing, which is doing push-ups and sit-ups, right? And I started stacking that with, I'm going to wake up, first thing I do is make my bed, and then do my push-ups, do my sit-ups, do my squats. After that, I brush my teeth, drink 2 glasses of water, and then I watch a motivational video. This is my daily routine. And for the past month and a half, I've never fell short. I remember there was a time where in my brain, I thought, look, I'll just do this Monday through Friday because, I wake up, come to the studio Monday to Friday. But on a Saturday, I was like, nope, I'm not going to break this. It has to be a daily thing. And then Steve came and challenged me and said, look, don't only do push-ups or sit-ups only in the morning. So guess what, Steve? I do it at night. Right, so it's in the morning and just before I sleep. And yesterday I remember doing push-ups and I was just complaining. But I was complaining, I'm like, man, I really don't feel like doing this. But I'm counting up those reps. So what I've seen is that when stacking habits, it's really important because you also build on the successes that you've done in the past. So my successes right now is, and I'm talking on a personal level, is that I do these push-ups. I do these sit-ups, and I know for a fact that I'm successful to the point where I even go above the reps that I normally do, because other days I'm like, no, let me just go further, and I do that. So once I stack it and I become intentional about it, then it becomes something worthwhile. And the one thing I also want to add is that I want to read for 30 minutes. So this means waking up, 30 minutes before, so that I can have my 30 minutes of reading. But I'll keep you posted. I'll keep you updated on how that goes. But for you personally at home, you're watching this and you want to start something. And usually you will see that whatever it is that you need to do, it comes to you. You already know. It's not a case of I need to figure this out. It could be something small. Whether it's for you to reach out and study or find that course you want to study, or it could be anything, like in my case, just exercise. And yes, I'm not going to the gym, but I'm doing these home exercises. So find something and stick to it. And then just before we progress with the show, there's quite a lot that's planned also on my calendar today because there's the Kota Festival Media Press launch that's happening today at the Soweto Theatre. So I'll be there. I'll be talking to some of the stakeholders, and it's going to be exciting because the event is taking place on the 6th and 7th right here at the Dobsonville Rugby Stadium. And definitely looking forward to it. And we're also going to be having some of the vendors, people that make these quarters, to come through here in studio. But I'm just going to throw this out there that this is also part of creating a mini documentary. So we sort of working in parallel to create a documentary as and when this is happening, because it's about the rise of ikota. So if you've lived in the township, you know that a staple, I'd call it a cuisine that we have in the township is ikota. From young kids, school kids, adults, everyone enjoys ikota now and again. And I've seen with age, for me, not so much anymore. I mean, I can have it there and there, but I don't know what happened. I just prefer cooked food, right? But we're going to have the vendors come through and showcase all of their product offering. And one of the guys will also be there is Kek. Kek was also here showcasing his food. So he's also going to be a vendor on that particular day, which is the 6th and 7th. So the tickets are available on CompuTicket and WebTicket. So you can go ahead and grab your tickets, and we'll see each other on the 6th and the 7th of September, which is next month. So it's just a few days away. So make sure you grab those tickets. And it's not just food, right? So it's going to be lifestyle. It's going to be music. There's going to be entertainment. There's going to be games. There's going to be a whole lot of food. And yeah, that's an opportunity for one to network as well. So there's just a whole lot of partners that will be involved. Capitec is a sponsor on the day. There's your Thompson's Meat. There's what's that energy company again? Oryx Energies. There's Blue Ribbon. VW Soweto is there. So there's just quite a lot of sponsors that will be there on that particular day. All right, so Vooka Nation, thank you so much. But we're still planning on giving you an epic episode, despite the challenges that we face. In fact, for me, a side of me is also a little bit happy because I've been wanting to upgrade our camera setup. And yeah, because we had working cams, it was like, okay, let's focus on other things. But my focus right now is getting like a full cam setup because, we've got a kitchen segment and we don't want any downtime. So, yep, that's the plan now. That's the plan. Get proper professional cams. Because I was telling Steve that, there's a difference between consumer tech, then there's prosumer tech, which is slightly above, and then there is professional, and then there's broadcast. So I think we have graduated from prosumer, and we need to go to professional tech, where when we plug and unplug things, the equipment is built precisely for that. With prosumer tech, if you do a whole lot of unplugging, plugging it in, it does have a wear and tear over time. So, yeah. But another thing I also want to give a shout out to is some of the extended talks that we're having. We're still planning or trying to give the concept a much more better standing in terms of how it will be presented, where it could be twice a week where we release these episodes. But for example, this past Sunday, TC was having an epic conversation in the kitchen with Boyi from Sanka Experiments. So that's on the channel. It's not streamed here. So we will tell you more about these episodes that we premiere on a Sunday and all of that. So yesterday we did 2 epic episodes, which again, we're still trying to see how and when do we flight it. But maybe because Steve was mentioning that perhaps we shouldn't have any downtime. And by downtime, because Saturday and Sunday we don't stream, so this would be the best time for us to flight these extended talks, thought-provoking conversations. So yesterday we had a guy called Terrence. He spoke about addiction, and not just substance addiction, but things like if you're a person that always wants validation and you're addicted to getting compliments or validation, that in itself is also a form of addiction. He spoke about the 3 levels of addiction and how they affect your spirit, your body, and mind. So very, very interesting conversation. And I think that one, Steve, we're going to flight it this coming Sunday. But you will see a whole lot of trailers. And yeah, man, we keep working. So I'm going to pause here, although there's quite a lot to cover. And we're going to take a break, and then, we're going to give you the news, but we're going to do it from the table right here. And we're going to give you traffic, sports, and all of that. But yeah, guys, if you haven't subscribed, and I'm talking to you at home, please hit the subscribe button. And then lastly, if you want to be part of the Vooka Nation and, pledge and put your money where your mouth is, we do have a membership subscription. So if you're looking at starting out as simple as R5.99, which is R6 per month, and that will earn you the Vooka membership badge, the Vooka Nation badge, and that's silver. And then if you want to step it up to gold, it's R10, and then platinum is R29. So all of these monies, they help us to keep the show alive, and all of that stuff. So I'm going to pause here, and we're going to go to a break. And then when we come back, we're going to give you the picture of the day, and then proceed to the news, and then our topical segments. And then later on, we do have guests that are coming through as well. So one is going to be online, okay? And the other one's going to be coming through right here in studio. So online, we have Madlamini, which she's a traditional healer, but she's also a author. Well, she created a journal for anyone that's undergoing a spiritual journey. So with the journals that she has created, It's for one to document and journal their experiences as and when they go through whatever spiritual journey that they're going through. And I think this is great because one of the things as Africans is that we do pass down stories through storytelling, but then in terms of journaling, it's something that we haven't really done much of, which we still need to do a lot of, right? So I think it's a good initiative for one to journal their life moving forward. Okay, so I'm going to pause now, Steve. We're going to go to weather, and after that, we'll come back with the news, with sports and picture of the day. We'll see you just now.
Hey family.
Hi.
My name is Tisika Mazibuko Shabalala.
My name is Moketi Maimane.
My name is Musi Miss.
My name is Ketsu Mguni.
On the Vooka
Breakfast Show.
Every weekdays from 7 a.m.
to 10 a.m.
This is where we are going to have our topical discussion featuring various experts from different fields.
We're going to take care of you and it's going to be amazing, man. Right now I'm on the set of the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blink-On Network.
Do not forget to subscribe.
That's Vooka Breakfast Show on Facebook and all other social media platforms.
Vooka.
See you there.
This is Ted, the Wild Irish Comedian. You're watching Vooka Breakfast Show. Tune in every morning, Monday to Friday.
How? Chomi, you still cooking with cha, salt and prayers. Yo. But don't stress, ungawari, because your time to shine in the kitchen is here. Amapele Spices for Africa and the Vooka Breakfast Show have said, let's bless you with some spices that will slap harder than Umama's 7 colors. Vugage Flavor Fridays is here. We're serving flavor, vibes, and vibes with flavor. Flavor Fridays is the only plug you need to turn your kitchen into a 5-star chill spot. For 8 weeks, you stand a chance to win spice hampers that take your meals from meh to just by subscribing and tuning into your daily dose of positivity for an energetic start to the day. So Hypo, what are you waiting for? Don't miss out. Flavor is calling. Waza.
Vooka Breakfast Show.
We're out here in the heart of Soweto, Dobsonville. This is right next to Zondi Hills and just before you get to Broad Fisher Club. I'm out here, my name is Musi West. I'm out here with the one and only maximum temperature. I'm working my plan. CC Shabanana Wakamazibugo, and of course our station manager, the one and only one and lyric. And we're traveling out here, man. This is what we do on the Vooka Breakfast Show.
Yeah, you gotta get it fresh.
Boogie, we are fresh and nice. Now it's time to take the information to the people.
Of course, like Mo just mentioned, one of our do stay tuned, comment, like, subscribe, share your thoughts and your opinions and everything else in between. We're going to be coming to a street to you live near you, wanting to know what your thoughts are out there on the street.
Of course, we've got TCO Wamazibugo with the traffic update. Right now, we are going to N1 southbound to make sure that wherever that you guys get, it is real-time information.
Yes,
so looking at Mukhorosi, we have robots that are not working right here, but the traffic is moving. We're going to look at when is your rush hour time, when people are from the work or from school,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes,
Gonna
sir.
give you your daily update, so do make sure that you stay with us. Mobile Vooka Breakfast Show.
Yes, sir.
Morning. I hope you guys are feeling fantastic on a wonderful Tuesday. And guess what? At least it's a bit more sunny and much more warmer today. So go tshore spring sa tsena man ke bona le gore madipalesa ibile setse di simolla go tlhaga di simolla go ba dintle. And I hope you guys are feeling fantastic, right? And as you know, I go by the name of Afriberry, also known as Miss Berry Place. But to the darker the berry, the sweeter than Tontoni. So right now, just before we start off our show, I'm going to start you off with picture of the day. And picture of the day for us is the Women in Mining essay, right? So Women in Mining essay is a dynamic non-profit organization funded in 2010 to empower and support women across the mining sector. Through its national chapters, Women in essay fosters inclusive networks that promote leadership, mentorship, and professional development. Yes, and professional development for women in a traditionally male-dominated industry. These chapters host events, workshops, and advocacy campaigns that address gender-based challenges, encourage collaboration, and spotlight the female excellence in mining. Women in Mining essay works alongside other bodies like SA Women in Essay, SAWIMA, and the Minerals Council to drive systematic change, aiming to double female representation and ensure women thrive in all facets of the mining value chain. Now, for me, this is something super amazing because, as we know, that mining has always been seen as a very male-dominated industry. And there is nothing more fantastic or amazing about the fact that now women are also seen as people who can actually add their own little touch or twist when it comes to the world of mining. Hey man, that is very amazing and fantastic. Okay, so right now I think we'll be heading over to our news and sports headlines, right? Yes. So our first headline is EFF insourcing bill ends tender fraud and worker exploitation. Now, the EFF MP Umphile Maote has introduced the insourcing bill aiming to end outsourcing in-state services like cleaning and security. The bill mandates insourcing and requires exemption requests if not feasible. COSATU supports it, calling outsourcing a driver of corruption and poor service delivery. Maote says tender systems fuel fraud and violence while little benefits goes to the communities. And on our second headline, slain e-hailing driver's family seeks help for burial. The family of the 27-year-old Mthokozi Zimvelasi, an e-hailing driver killed outside Maponya Mall in Soweto, is appealing for help to afford a dignified burial. He was shot and his car torched, triggering national outrage and protest that shut down the mall. The attack is suspected to stem from tensions between taxi operators and e-hailing drivers. Velas's death has reignited concerns over safety in the e-hailing sector. Western Cape, now our third headline is Western Cape renew push for expanded police authority. Now the Western Cape leaders are urging national government to devolve policing powers to local and provincial authorities. They urge that control over crime intelligence and enforcement will improve safety, particularly in gang-affected areas. The City of Cape Town's Metro Police and provincial agencies are preparing to take on expanded roles, with officials saying they're building the necessary capacity for more effective law enforcement. And right now, we'll be heading over to your sports update. So right now, first headline on the sports update is Neymar leaves field in tears as Santos humbled. Santos suffered a historic 6-0, like 6-0 home defeat to Vasco da Gama, making the worst loss of Neymar's career and prompting the firing of coach Salvo Xavier. Felipe scored twice as Vasco da Gama climbed out of the relegation zone. Neymar, visibly emotional, called the team's performance terrible and urged reflection. Santos just 2 points above the drop, face Bahamian next. Neymar has 6 goals and 3 assists in 21 games since rejoining the club. I don't want to lie, that's very crushing. And then on our second sports headline, we have Radakino and Drekpa face each other in the US Open doubles. Emma Raducanu and Carlos Alcaraz have received a wild card for the revamped US Open mixed doubles tournament set for the 19th to the 20th of August, with a $1 million prize. Jack Draper and Jessica Pulga top seeds after original partners withdrew. Jenny Cassina, also a wildcard entrant, will pair with Katarina. The event features a shortened formats with 4 game sets and 10-point tie breaks. Alcazar and Sinner face scheduling challenges due to the Cinematic Open final, right? And then our third sports headline, Themba Bavuma confirms he will drop down the order for the ODI series against Australia. Adrian Markram and Ryan Beckler will continue opening for the Proteas across all formats, while Themba Bavuma returns for the ODI series in Australia alongside newcomers Kesh Maharaj, Wayne Wilder, Matthew Biscoff, and Tony de Zors. Devad Devers is all set for his ODI debut after stand-out T20 series, and Kwe Nampake joins the squad after taking 9 wickets. Australia captain Mitch Marsh expects his side to maintain their aggressive style from the T20s despite the formal challenges that they've actually had. And right now we'll also be heading over to your traffic updates. Missy, can you please take them to the traffic updates? Yes, man. So at the moment, can you please go? We're going to go to a little break and we'll come back with your traffic updates.
This is Ted, the Wild Irish Comedian. You're watching Vooka Breakfast Show. Tune in every morning, Monday to Friday.
Vooka Breakfast Show.
We're out here in the heart of Soweto, Dobsonville. This is right next to Zondi Hills, and just before you get to Broad Fisher Club, I'm out here. My name is Musi. I'm out here with the one and only maximum temperature. I'm working my plan. CC Shabanana Wakamazibugo, and of course our station manager, the one and only Manelin Lyric. And we're traveling out here, man. This is what we do on the Vooka Breakfast Show.
Yeah, you gotta get it fresh.
Bugile, we are fresh and nice. Now it's time to take the information to the people.
Of course, like Mo just mentioned, one of our do stay tuned, comment, like, subscribe, share your thoughts and your opinions and everything else in between. We're going to be coming to a street to do live near you, wanting to know what your thoughts are out there on the street.
Of course, we've got TCO Wamazibugo with the traffic update. Right now, we are going to N1 southbound to make sure that whatever that you guys get, it is real-time information. So, looking at Mukhorosi, we have robots that are not working right here, but the traffic is moving. We're going to look at when is your rush hour time, when people are from the work, from school,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes,
Gonna
sir.
give you your daily update. So do make sure that you stay with us. Mobile Vooka Breakfast
Yes,
Show.
sir.
Asante at least.
There we go. Am I here? Yes. Okay, I see what happened. Okay, there we go. I mean, because we didn't stream yesterday morning, right? So this is the beauty and all the great stuff that happens when something is live. As we do here every weekday morning, Monday to Friday, between the hours of 7 and 10. We always take such good care of you, only and exclusively right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. Always spending some great quality time with myself, M-O-O-C-E-E Mist. My name is Musi Mist, and I could not be happier to be both in your presence and in your company. Welcome. I see already quite a couple of you, or rather quite a number of you, are jumping on into our comment section, and I can't wait to get into all the things that you guys are saying. But before we get into that, like I just said a second ago, welcome. This is where we have all-encompassing, compelling, and of course thought-provoking conversations with myself, the one and only M-O-O-C-E-E Mist. My name is Musi Mist, and you know that I'm never alone, and I'll never ever be alone. And part of the people who will always be joining me on a day-to-day basis is the one and only, the ever so beautiful, the ever so lovely Perry Blaze, who just gave you your morning news update that was accompanied by a sports update. Great things that we are hearing, and sometimes they're not so great, right? But we'll get into that a bit later on. But with that being said, do jump on to our comment section and throughout all our social media platforms using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. So that's Vooka Breakfast Show on Facebook and all other social media platforms. But it needs not end there, like I always say. It also continues on our WhatsApp line using the number 060-493-3226. That's 060-493-3226. Comment, like, subscribe, and do the things that are necessary to be done so that you and I and Afriberry and Mr. B and Steve and the rest of the Vooka team and the Vooka Nation can share our thoughts, our opinions, and everything else in between. But it still needs not end there. It doesn't end there. Want to go jump onto our website using www.vookadaily.co.za. I almost forgot it for a second there. That's www.vookadaily.co.za. This is where you can get a bit more insight on some of the conversations and some of the people who have joined us right here in the studio and the engagements we've had, you know, since we started all the way back in January. I can't believe it. I can't believe that it's August and it's almost like towards the end of August, and we started way back in January. You know, so it's just amazing to witness, and coming full circle with our journey. You know, months later, we started out when it was still a bit warm early in the year. You know, because it was like summer, and then fast forward, it was like autumn, and then we went to the rancho. It was cold, but also still warm. The weather was still giving. And now fast forward, we are in the dead of winter now, you know, and we're almost to the end and to the closure of the winter season, which I'm so happy about. I'm excited. I don't know about you. You know, and I'm quite indifferent from Mo and Ubanele. I'm one of those people who completely hate the winter season. So I can't wait for the summer and spring seasons to come through. And I'll tell you, I'm excited for the 6th and 7th of September 2025. Because on the 6th, when we are going to be out at Kota Festival right here in Dobsonville, right? That will be my birthday. On the 6th of September is my birthday. So I'm going to celebrate my 25th birthday. Very nice.
But the Lord jadi kota fella when now.
No, man, it's not about just the kota. No, I'm not such a foodie. I'll tell you, I'm not such a foodie. But what I am excited about is, what I am excited about is all the festivities that are going to be taking place on that day, you know. So outside of just the Kota, Angie, I'm excited for the people that are going to meet, because I have been to Kota Festival, 7 Color Sunday, all those kinds of events, and they always promise to be great. Talk to me. Are you looking forward to it? I don't know. I know you like food quite a bit more than myself. Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm literally looking forward to it. And I think Kota Festival is, you could say, one of South Africa's greatest invention, because we get to see basically the different ways that people make a kota. And the nice thing about it is that this one is for Soweto, so it means that literally people from different areas from Soweto will be there to showcase Uti Tine Dlamini, we make our kota like this. This is how we make our kota in Proteatland. So it also gives you a bit of a history or some sort of like his attachment to certain places, because for me, I feel like each and every single kota, it will be able to tell a story about the place where its origin, where it's from. So basically, that's how you see it. Okay, if I go to Proteatland and I want a bit of a twist, so this is the type of kota I could get if I go to Proteatland. If let's say maybe I'm moving and I'm living here in Zondi, this is the type of kota I could expect to find when I move and go stay in Zondi. So for me, it's not only about just the food as much as I love food. It's about the significance of it and how different areas do it. As you know, some people call it kota, but when you go to Pitora King, it's park. So it gives you that experience. And for me, I can't wait, man. And I also really wish that we could also hit up the Joburg Kota Festival, the Jozi Kota Festival, because that one will literally feature different places in and around Jozi, and obviously Soweto will obviously be a part of that. But we'll also get to see, or maybe go New Town, the Kota Taboni, the Kota Tabosh
Yeah, man, definitely.
So, man, for me, it's about the food travel. So for me, it's gonna be more of a food journey compared to me just basically eating a normal kota. For me, it'll be basically about the different food journeys you could take to different places.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited, excuse me. I'm excited, man, because on the 6th is my birthday. And I know we're in the Leo season right now. But the Virgo season is literally around the corner. Almost like what? A couple of days away, actually, not even a week, but a couple of days away. So I'm excited for that one. So we're going to be bringing you all great things with regards to the Kota Festival and how I would have spent my birthday on the 6th of September 2025 this year, all right? And I'll tell you, I think for the first time last year, after quite a number of years, or just a couple of years, it was actually the first time I was genuinely excited for my own birthday. You know, it was the first time I was excited for my birthday. And I'm not too sure about this year. But because we're going to be out at the Kota Festival, it promises to be a great one. So a couple of you have jumped onto our comment section on YouTube. I'm seeing Uluetu. came through a bit earlier saying, good morning, Vooka team, hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show, hashtag Sivugile. Ulwetu and then says, happy Tuesday, Vooka team. And then Mam Tembimli jumped on saying, a very good morning, Vooka team and Vooka Nation. Hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show, hashtag Sivugile on a Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, team. Wishing you a peaceful, fulfilling day ahead. God bless you all. I love it.
Thank
I
you,
love
Ma.
it. Mom Tembi, always sharing such positive stuff, man. These things of ours are not doing the things. I'm going to come back and give you, you deserve that pop, Mom Tembi. Very cool stuff, man. And then my very own sister, Priscilla Maimani, saying, morning, wishing all a day of blessings. Hey, Priscilla, hey, thank you so much. And then, Ubuhle,
Umshana wethu lawa sevuka breakfast show.
Buhle saying, good morning, Vooka team, hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show, hashtag Sivukile. Nice one, man. And then she further goes on to say, happy Tuesday, Vooka team and nation. Nice one, I love it. And then she lastly says, I choose my family on this lovely Tuesday. Choose Mazketela Ketom Tandai. Who are you choosing on this lovely Tuesday morning, the 19th of August? A nice one. And then finally, Mam Tembi says, good morning, Afriberry. Missed you yesterday. And then good morning to you too, Mr. Mist. Hey, These things, guys, I don't know. Our equipment is saying because it's Monday, according to it, because we didn't stream yesterday morning, right?
So today is actually Monday.
Today it's a Monday,
not Tuesday.
for our equipment, man, and for us as well. And we are also quite sad, man, that we couldn't hang out with you guys yesterday morning. But nonetheless, we're here with you this morning, and we're going to really try and give you the best ever. Just so that we can get you started and get you going for the rest of the week, right? So with that being said, let's try and get into what we have lined up for you this morning. Like Mr. B said, we're going to be hanging out with Opulisiwe Sekawu, the founder and CEO of Shangoni Foods. Right? And she'll be sharing a bit more as to what Shangoni Foods is, that was founded back in 2020 and rooted in Edenvale, Boksburg. I can't wait for that one. And then also Mr. B mentioned earlier on that Asanda Dlamini, a traditional healer and author, will also be hanging out with us a bit later on. So with that being said, I'm excited for all of those, and I can't wait to hear what those ladies have to say with regards to all of the things and the spaces that they are involved in. Talk to me, Afriberry. What are you feeling?
Man, it's a lot, man. Kuningi young, kuningi. But for me, the thing that has me at least the gatle sidetrack is because I'm reading up more about this whole Uber situation, man. Because this guy was 27 years old. He got the car 2 weeks back, and his family just literally said that he was the only child. Imagine using your one and only child who just got a car 2 weeks ago so that he can start working as an Uber driver. Come Monday, he's officially started. He's working as an Uber driver, and then boom, Wednesday, he's gone just like that. But right now, it's very shocking, man, the thing that happened, because even his family is actually pleading with South Africa so that they can get donations to actually bury him, because they don't even have enough money to actually even carry his unfortunately, his leg and his ashes to KZN. What is happening in South Africa is very shocking, and it's very sad to have somebody who now turned into the family's breadwinner to suddenly just pass away like that. It's not a good thing, man. It's not nice. It's not amazing, because his family and his uncle here on his mother's side, because he has family from his paternal side, so his maternal side actually. So his father, his uncle, and his aunt were actually talking to SABC News and pleading for help because they don't have enough money to take his remains from Joburg back down to KZN. And his mother also ended up being hospitalized on Wednesday after finding out that his son just got burned, and he unfortunately died very brutally, so to speak, man. This is very sad. Hey, I don't want to lie, but eventually Calm was restored on Friday at Maponya Mall after residents barricaded, blocked minibuses from operating. And then the residents also did accuse the mall of conveying with minibus operators who have forbidden shoppers from using e-hailing vehicles. So, man, for me, I feel like this is going to be a very ongoing thing, especially if the mall itself does not stand up and actually stand with the residents or stand for what's right. This is the second incident that has happened in that mall and concerning that mall and pertaining that mall. I feel like once was more than enough. It should have never happened even twice. So I like this is very sad, man. It's very heartbreaking what's happening right now.
Completely agreed, Afripere. I've also been trying to observe as best as I can, right, with regards to the story that's been developing throughout the entirety of last week and over the weekend, of course. And clearly it's something that's still going on. And like I said, man, it's something that for me, it holds dear and near to my heart because I am a consumer and a patron of e-hailing services. But like you said earlier on, it says here, the family of 27-year-old Mtokozi Simvelase, an e-hailing driver killed outside of Maponya Mall in Soweto, is appealing for help to afford a dignified burial. He was shot and his car torched, triggering national outrage and protest that shut down the mall. The attack is suspected to stem from tensions between taxi operators and e-hailing drivers. Mvelasa's death has reignited concerns over safety in the e-hailing sector. And I have something that I came across this weekend. I don't know if I'll be able to share it with everyone who's watching and listening from wherever they are tuned in from, and of course with you guys here in studio. Let me try and sort that out. But clearly, this is an ongoing, conversation, and this is just. It is as a disclaimer. This is something that is going to come from it came from another platform, right? So just as a disclaimer, so we're not sourcing this ourselves.
Yes.
And you might see, the name of the platform. That's not ours, right? It's not our
Yes.
own. So with that being said, Mr. Steve, let me try and sort that out. There we go. It just came through. Let's try and share. So this is the spokesperson of let me see quickly, I'll find out for you. The Santaco spokesperson, Rebecca Phala, right? Yes, Rebecca Phala, and she says that the e-hailing drivers switched off their apps and start touting customers. So hotauta, we know it's something that taxi drivers do. Right, hotauta is when a driver will be in his car or in the taxi, and he will be hailing customers and passengers. Hey,
Josie, Profisha,
whatever. Yeah, right. So that's what touting is. And I found out years ago when I went to Durban for the first time that they are. I was Skapa Boy. So Skapa Boy is. Ronaki, the guys, Baba Bitandi taxi for us when we are standing at the robot or whatever, right? Hey, my sister, we are go local, Josie, whatever, right? But in Durban, those people they actually sit in the taxi.
Oh, it's the same thing as in Cape Town. In Cape Town, they call them the slide, what's the sliding door taxi operator or something like that. They also sit inside the taxi, they open, they let you come inside, and they close the door for you.
So in Durban, they call them Uskapa Boy. So Uskapa Boy does the touting for you, right? And so so this is the lady, Rebecca, is the spokesperson of Santaco.
Santaco is the what?
Santaco is the South African Let me find out for you very quickly.
Isn't it the
South
taxi
African
association?
Taxi Association.
Yeah, but for me, I find it very tricky. You know why I say that? Because for them, it's going to be a way for them to actually protect themselves and say, no, but this incident happened because beba tauta. So does it mean that if a taxi driver gets shot and unfortunately killed, it happened because beba tauta? It makes no sense for me. And at that moment, you as an Uber driver, that makes no sense to me.
Please listen to her reasoning. But just for context, Santaco is the South African National Taxi Council. All right. But let's hear a bit more insights as to what Rebecca had to say. Okay. Nothing is coming through.
Okay, let me play to my side.
Okay. Cool.
The one you said, yeah.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear it? Can you guys hear it?
Yeah, we can.
A little bit.
Okay, let me start it over.
Sure. It's not coming through, Steve. It's not coming through on the screen.
It's not coming through on the screen. Okay, just jump into it and
You can stop it that side. No worries. We're going to try and play that video for you again. Because I found this very interesting. But from the little that you heard, right? I don't want to say that she's justifying, but she's saying that the tensions are also further caused by the fact that e-hailing drivers or e-hailers tout. So they switch off the apps, which is Uber and Bolt, which are the major ones, right? But we know that there are other ones like
InDrive
and all those other apps, right? So she says that part of the cause of the tension between e-hailers and taxi associations and taxi operators and drivers is that e-hailers switch off the app and they go into the malls or they stand by the entrances of the malls and tout and taunt, or rather not taunt, but they call on hail on customers. Hore mama, I see it's already plastic. No, I can take you home for 30 rands. And right? And she's saying that their operation is app-based. So there's no need for them to go out of their cars, switch off the apps, and go tout the customers inside the malls, right? Which is, I guess, I hear what she's saying, fair, but the presenter on this platform, on the show, is like, but who says that they can't do that? Who regulates? Where is the rule? Where is the law of law?
And there
the
is
rule
no
of law
law.
that says, and then she goes on further to say, no, the operandas, or how things are done, is that they are app-based and people should use smartphones, and it's only taxi operators who are supposed to be touting and whatever.
Okay, so
Very interesting, man.
So there's actually some truth in what she said. Yes, there are actually some taxi Uber drivers who do that, but they only do that in malls that are under that or actually have actually have connections with the Uber drivers. Like, for example, at Middle Point, there's no taxis inside.
Oh,
Only
yes,
Bolt
yes.
is allowed inside.
Yeah.
So if you do not have data to request, yes, you'll find, and it's a normal norm for us. You'll literally find the Bolt driver inside the mall, sitting there with the chair, and then the only they only come to you if you literally need the assistance. Half the time you can actually request inside the mall, and they won't even disturb you. And then there are times where you have indoor fire mall. Indoor fire mall, there's also the same situation where there are no taxis, but there are Bolt drivers inside. So Bolt drivers will either sit inside, they'll see you with the bags. Hi, Ma, how are you? Do you need any assistance? Can I take you to a certain place? And then they'll give you the option. If you request it, then fine, you can carry on with your lift and go with the Bolt that you requested. But if you haven't requested, then it's okay for them. You can do that. But then, as they said, as the presenter was saying, that which law actually forbids them from doing that? There is no stated law. Even in the Nesanta Konabo Strait, they do not have a stated law that forbids Uber, Bolt, drivers to actually stop or not engage in touting. There is no written law to it. So that's unfortunately the sad part. You may say that what they're doing, they are stealing what from what taxi drivers are normally doing, or from the normal norm that taxi drivers stick to. But unfortunately, there is no law that governs them or says they cannot do that. There is no law from that. I mean, for example, the same goes for meter taxi operators. In Park Station, at the Gautrain station where you get the buses and whatever. The what's this baby zang? The King Maxi taxis that station that side, and they actually do the same thing that taxi operators do. They stop Uber drivers from picking up people from that side. So this one does not even include only taxi drivers. It also comes to Maxi taxi operators. And unfortunately for them, the reason why they stop them is because they are more expensive than a Bolt. Even taking a taxi to where you're going would sound much more better than taking a maxi taxi. And that's their situation, the fact that they are much more expensive, and they want to seem like they are the only option that people have if you do not have a Gautrain card for you to take their buses. The only option that you have is the maxi taxi, and they're expensive. I've noticed, I remember one time I requested with my friend Kakwa 222, which is close to Park Station, and the guy was even telling us, is like, you know what, when you enter here, give me a hug, pretend like we're cousins and we haven't seen each other for the longest time, because there are maxi taxi operators who literally do a stop and search and be like, uganti nina ni aguphi wena ufunani wanga gibeli taxi wanga walk uye gibeli taxi MTN or gibeli taxi eBri then uzogibela lento lega. Why wenza kanje? I'm like, imali yami jo akusimali yethu. First of all, le mali le ngisebenzela ngiyi1 ayisiyi2. Why should you also be controlled with our money? And speaking about this, over the weekend I also saw another incident where a person was inside a Bolt, and then the taxi association, banani, the patrol cars. One patrol car stopped that Uber driver and was like, you need to take down the person. The lady answered her phone was like, mina ngizoni shuta I video. First of all, imali yami akusimali yethu. So I have no idea why you want to control me with my money. If I want to take a taxi, I will take a taxi. If I want to take a Bolt, I will take a Bolt. It's my money, not our money. She literally took a video, and those taxi association patrol cars, they went inside the car and left because she had them on video, and she was like, "Nizon trendisa." And the video that I saw it from my mom. I should have forwarded to my phone. I saw it on my mom's phone because she's part of this other WhatsApp group chat where they're actually saying these kind of things. So she like literally showed me the video, and she's like, "Hey, Baba, like this thing is getting rough." And then the amount of taxis that also got burned through this whole thing, man, the amount of damage is just way too much. This is a big pie that we can all share. There is no need for you to be greedy about it. Learn to share, guys. In like, no man, this whole e-hailing situation, there needs to be a stop when it comes to it. This needs to stop. It cannot go on. Many people are losing their lives over unnecessary things. I won't find a taxi, and then you want to fight me because I'm in a Bolt. It makes no sense. And then a taxi does not literally even drop me at the door. So why are you fighting the Bolt driver? It makes no utter sense, man. It makes no sense.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying. I really want to play some of these things that I found over the weekend online. I want to play these for you. So let's try and see maybe if I can get that going for you.
Currently, let me give you an example of what we've since established, for instance, was happening at Maponya. What's happening at Maponya is because these e-hailing operators are saying that these platforms are exploiting them and they can't make money, they switch off the apps and they start touting. You know who does touting? Taxis. Taxis tout, they hoot, people use signals to stop a taxi. That's what a taxi does. Now, when these smaller cars start operating like taxis, effectively it means some lines are being blurred there. That's going to cause some discussion, some discomfort, and to some extent, disagreements on the ground.
Why?
Because that's how we're operating. If you're going to come into the way that I've been operating, and you're taking business, Bella, remember when you're saying e-hailing?
But that's competition.
Absolutely, and we don't have a problem with that. When you use meter taxis in their natural sense back in the day, you would call them, you would hail them with a phone call. Speak to them. With a taxi, you would use hand signals or you'd go to a taxi rank. That is the modus operandi. Now, when you've got this new technology, which is supposed to be called by people on the phone, but they switch their apps off and start operating like minibus taxis, then it means they're getting into a territory that is not theirs. Theirs is to wait for people to open their smartphones, hail them to go. So
the second thing that your regulation you'd be happy of is they must never operate outside the app.
Yes, they are app-based operators. It has to be there.
So how do you know that the app is open or closed?
How do we know as Santaco? The app is there on their phones. When it's
you just
closed,
said they switch off the app.
Yes.
And then people start hailing at them to say, "I'm
people
here."
People don't actually hail at them. They hail at people. They tout.
They start hooting.
Yes.
And barenka.
That barenka. They even go as far as getting into shopping malls and telling people, "Mama, with the plastic bags, I can take you home for 30 rand." That's what taxi marshals would be doing in a different setting.
So why shouldn't they do that?
Because that's not the modus operandi of their work.
Why is that modus operandi a patent of Santaco?
It's not a patent of Santaco.
So why can't someone else use it?
Because their operation is based on a hailing app. That's the difference.
Yeah, but I'm saying, what law are they violating?
That's why I'm saying there's a loophole in the regulations. Remember, currently, the regulations that we have are such that they're in keeping with you having a meter taxi, a minibus taxi, and a bus.
Okay, so...
Busy man, go rough. And she even failed to answer. How do you know that the app is off?
Closed, exactly.
Because they are not, as much as you or she is speaking on things that she has no evidence on. You say that they close their apps and actually start hailing customers. Do you work for Bolt head offices? Because they don't even have an office in South Africa. Bolt, Uber, they don't have an office in South Africa. When they need to lay their comments, their offices are all the way there, Emeliga. And then you are speaking like gune head office Uber, gune head office Bolt.
I have more.
Give me more. Give us more so we can
guys,
see.
This e-hailing versus taxi association and taxi operators thing is big. It's big. One life is too much. One life is too many, guys. This was a young boy, barely in his 30s, who lost his life. It's a huge thing.
He just started, man. It's somebody who just literally started his own venture. So now imagine the family lost their son. Their son took out a car, got a car 2 weeks back. So now they are stuck with a debt of repaying a car. If he did not buy that car straight up, if he did not buy that car cash and he's paying installments, that means that they are stuck with paying with an installment of a car that is no longer there. So how are they supposed to pay
the family doesn't have enough to bury the boy.
I want her to bury to even get the remains to KZN. Let's start with that one.
Let me play this for you so that you and I can unpack, and maybe everyone else who's listening and watching can share their thoughts as well.
Here's a direct question.
Sorry.
Here's a direct question. Are people are people who own cars allowed to give hitchhikers a lift?
No, they are not. They are not allowed. It's our business. They are infringing our rights because we are taxi operators with permit to load passengers, but people cannot just pick up people because they're not taxis.
If it's a family member, if it is my family member that I'm giving a lift to work,
your family member on the street.
So I'm supposed to confirm to you that this is my family member and somehow
as I was
prove.
saying, every company's got securities. If you see there's a family member is hiking there and you see there's a patrol car, just stop your car, go to the security guy and explain to them to say, this is my family member, please allow me to pick that person. I don't think they'll give you a problem.
It's a country of laws, Mr. Sibanyone. I do not have to explain myself to I don't have to explain myself to a security guard who is driving in a vehicle. For all I know, this could be a criminal. Why must I stop and explain myself to some person as to why I have a passenger in my car?
Yes, it's a country of law, but that country of law, it doesn't say you must violate other people's rights.
I'm not done with you. I'm not done. I'm not done. So this was yesterday morning. So it says traffic starts flowing after the army told taxi operators to remove their roadblocks.
Driver, I have to take a taxi. I can't get a Bolt that I want to take with my money. I'm standing out here. I've been standing at the mall for over 2 hours with kids. I have a baby that's hungry. I'm a taxi driver. But me and my kids. Here they are. They're arguing with the Bolt driver right now. They're not thinking about me and my kids. They're thinking about themselves. I can't take a taxi. I can't take a Bolt. I'm forced to take a taxi. Where I lapong to about driver me. This is the current situation that's happening at Krisani Mall, Fosiloras. We are being forced into transports that we don't want with our monies. Can somebody come and do something here? I am not going to take a taxi. I don't want to take a taxi. I want to take a Bolt because I have a car. And when my car is not available, I'm a Bolt customer.
This lady follows up. I think she was brought onto a platform. I think because the video is from Sunday, as it stated. Oh, yesterday, the 18th. Let's hear what she.
I even asked that one of the patrollers. I was like, "What's actually the problem here?" If I'm saying I don't want to take a taxi and I'm choosing to take e-Bolt, I've left the mall, which is your territory. Why are you now coming here to come and say, I can't get a Bolt even here? The guy started laughing, and the second guy, he laughed and went into the car, in the back seat there. And I'm like, this does not make sense at all. So you're going to force me, basically, to grab a Bolt, to grab a taxi when I want a Bolt. It does not make any sense whatsoever to me. So they left with the guy, and as they were leaving, I had cut the video by then. The other guy's like, usiposte ku TikTok yezo. Ikhanda lakho liyafufuza. Ucabanga ukuthi uhlakaniphile wena. I was like, so when you think mawusho kanjalo uyangisabisa. He's like, angeke uyithole iBolt la ngiyakutshela. Uzomala ubusuku buze buse. If ungena ndoda ezokulanda. I was like, brother, mamelo gireng. Ki tlo ithola Bolt and awuna ntho tlo yetsa. Ki tlo ipala ma Bolt ka je kuleng.
It's sad. This is what our country has come to.
It's very sad, man. It's
guys, why do we have to get to a point as a nation, as a country, where the National Defense Force has to come to the rescue of passengers, of public transport commuters in the morning, on a Monday morning? Like, why should the soldiers come and intervene in such situations?
This whole thing is getting out of hand. I think it's the second footage, or the first one, if I'm correct. It's so bizarre to a point that you can't even have a single passenger in your car. Because they're like, you can't do that. And then remember that on one of the audios, somebody asks, is like, so if a person is hitchhiking and I give that person a ride, are you guys going to stop me? It's like, yeah, this person must get into... I am hitchhiking because I don't have money for a taxi.
Okay, but what if I'm picking you up, Afriberry? You're someone I know. I work with you. I've been knowing you for over
Oh, you're my boyfriend. You're picking me up. It becomes a problem. Now we are boyfriend and girlfriend. So a man cannot pick up his girl, or a female cannot pick up his man. I cannot pick up my grandmother, my uncle, my niece, my nephew, just because now you feel like it's a Bolt. Like, it literally makes no sense. That means that even me as a private car owner, if I have my phone sitting there on the dashboard with a GPS location that's there, they'll automatically just assume that, no, this one is a Bolt driver, this one is... Like, I don't want to lie, like the South African Taxi Association, it is time that it gets huge fines, huge restrictions, and huge regulations. We have had enough. It has been going on for the longest time, over the years, and this thing is not ending. It's been going on for years and years and years. South Africa, the president, it is about time that we put a stop to this whole madness that is happening within the transportation area itself. What is the Minister of Transport doing? I have not heard the Minister of Transport say anything or voice out a single thing, or even say this is an action plan that we want to do or plan on implementing. What is that person actually doing? Why do we even have a Minister of Transport?
So people came in on the comment sections of all of these videos, right? And people are saying, a week or 2 weeks ago, ministers were very quick to jump onto those boys. Bako Open Chat podcast, Bomtobo, Bosino, and all of those people. Ministers were very quick. Who's that guy, Steve? Who's that guy from Gaten McKenzie's?
Liam.
Liam, Gaten McKenzie, and other officials in J, other people who are quite well known, were very quick to jump onto those boys. Those boys were being called, they should be cancelled, they should be taught a lesson and justified. Were quite derogatory. We're not condoning them, we're not supporting them, we're not saying it was good. But by comparison, this is far, far worse. What if that now is far worse than what those boys say.
Yes,
we're not saying what they said is right or whatever.
It's not right, but when you compare the two, this one is far worse.
This is big, man. This is big, and people are saying, "Hey, ministers were very quick to jump on." Bakokai, where are they now? People are out crying that family doesn't have enough money, like you just mentioned, to even transport, let alone bury that boy, but to transport the remains of that boy to KZN. Hi, your chelete. Why are ministers? They were quick to run to police stations and say, yeah, we're opening cases. Kabari Twere so, very proudly so, 5 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, we're opening cases. Yeah, we're there at the police station. Hey, wada. Calm now. Kids and serious things that are facing the entire country. Very serious things. Commuters are being stopped by random people, random taxi operators and patrollers. You know, more taxis are more private cars. Someone also jumped on into the comment section to ask, are taxi patrollers removing black and white or only black? That's also a very valid question. In my very humble 2 cents worth of an opinion, it's a very, very valid question. That they're asking, are you doing this to only black brothers and sisters, or are you doing this to everyone in the country? Are you going to stop a random white person driving on the road? Or are you going to stop them?
And
say,
believe it or not, they're actually white bald drivers.
Don't use taxis. They use private cars. So are they saying that they are going to... Guys, it's a big thing. It's a big thing. So we've been talking for quite some time, right? And there's a lot happening in and around our country. And I think we're going to be unpacking this story for the next couple of days, man. But of course, amongst others that are making the headlines. I mean, there's another one that the Western Cape renews push for expanded police authority. So those are other headlines that made the news over the weekend. And of course, we're going to try and bring you all of those headlines throughout the entirety of this week. But with that being said, the conversation is still continuing, still continuing on our comment section on YouTube using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. I see a couple of you have come on. Pumla Langa, hello Pumla, how are you doing? Pumla says, I have an early meeting, but what would the day be without you guys? So I'm popping in to start my day. Good morning, my Vooka team. Cool. Though I am going to give you this one, Pumla. Right? Ask me why I'm giving you.
Why?
She spelled Vooka with V-U-K-A.
Woo?
And not V-O-O-K-A. So I'm giving that just
for that spelling error,
right? For the spelling, because we are V-O-O-K-A Breakfast Show. But I love that you jumped on, Pumla. Very, very cool stuff. And then hello Simami Kalane. I saw Simami on Saturday. Simami saying Vooka Breakfast hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Good morning, Vooka Nation. Hashtag Sivugile and choosing myself on this happy Tuesday. Very, very cool stuff. Simami, I want to, I guess for lack of a better word, apologize, right? Because TC and Mokete a couple of weeks ago said naga go punish, naga go foster, naga go push, go recommend. That's not what I was doing, right? I was just saying it would be nice because I know you hang out with us, and you actually did say it yourself that you spend time with us on a day-to-day basis, right? So I was just saying, don't just spend time, and this doesn't just go to you, it goes to everyone else, because I know there's quite a few people who watch and they don't comment and they don't share their thoughts and their opinions, right? So but we do appreciate every time you comment, you share the opinions, right? Very, very cool stuff. And then Zinzi came on as well, saying, good morning, beautiful team, and Vooka Amahle. Happy Tuesday, and grateful that it is getting warmer. Kodwa, not looking forward to the heat waves. Be blessed. Hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. She comes on back to say, we missed you guys, Izolo, and hope you had a fantastic weekend and wishing a great weekend or a great week ahead. Hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show.
I had a hectic day yesterday, but I'll tell you after these comments.
Okay, no worries. I also had a very decent weekend. You know, it was very, very cool. A bit tiring because of whatever else. You know, but it was good, man. It was good. And of course, the rest of the team was out there at the ShopRite, or rather the Dobsonville Mall mother and daughter event. Yeah, man. And then Uneliswa Mngqi comes through, and I have to apologize to Uneliswa. On Friday, I forgot to play a video from her, so we're gonna do that, Mr. Steve, because I felt like I owed her doing that. But Uneliswa comes on and says, "I missed you guys yesterday. Hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Hashtag Vooka Nation. Good morning, guys. Sivugile." Of course, Sivugile. And then Tsakane P. Hello, Tsakane. Tsakane says, "Good morning, Vooka Nation and the breakfast team. Sivugile, hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show, of course." And then Uneliswa comes back again and says, guys, this is scary. This reminds me of the Zuma strike. Things got out of control. I'm really worried. Innocent people are dying." Of course, I'm worried as well, because one of the posts that I came across online, this person was urging, I think he's someone who's quite involved or is quite familiar with the taxi industry, right? And he came on to say on the socials, this guy says, "Guys, to my brothers and everyone else who's involved in the taxi industry, you don't want to go to war with the general public. The general public outnumbers the taxi association."
Amen to that one.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? And he's like, "Hey guys, sinendlela zethu esiphanding ngazo besiphanda istrateni, and we were hustling and trying to put money together to provide for our families and all of those things." And but he's really urging the fighting to stop, the unrest to stop. He says, if the fight is now moving towards the general public, where now it's this thing of removing people from their cars and people who have nothing to do with this fight and stuff like that, the taxi industry is fighting a losing battle.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough one, and it's going to be very bloody, man.
Exactly.
So this needs to be stopped before it even goes too
bloodshed,
far.
Exactly, everybody. So I'm also worried, since Nelly, I can't tell you, man. And then the last comment we have on YouTube is from Uzinzi saying, "Hey, this e-hailing versus taxi industry is really daunting. The Minister of Transport has to do something about it, because lives are in danger and some lives are already taken." So yeah, man, I'm also worried about it, and hopefully it will be resolved. But the nice thing is that Maponya Mall is back in operation now, and at least both parties, which is e-hailing services and the taxi associations and taxi operators, are willing to come to the table and have a conversation and to try and figure out how they can move forward.
I just wish, man, that
together. Yeah.
Sorry, I just wish that this conversation could be like very open. The reason why I'm saying it's because this matter does not only affect the two industries, it also affects the South African citizens as a whole, and us also being able to literally hear what is being discussed and the terms and conditions, like having a full-blown conversation with that one and also being in tune with it will also help us understand where exactly as passengers do we stand, because it's not only about them, it's also about us as passengers. Where do we stand? And there should also be somebody, man, representing the passengers out there, man, because I feel like they'll make a decision that will be best for the both of them. But when it hits the fan, it's gonna affect us the most compared to them. So that we also need to have some certain representative or somebody, man, who's just a normal citizen, also there viewing in or listening in and having an insight.
Speaking on behalf of
the general public. We need that because we also need to voice our own voice on how this thing between the both of them is affecting us.
Yeah. No, I agree. But with that being said, just let me play that video that we got from Uneli on Friday morning, because I feel like, sorry? Sure, no worries.
And they're still packing the car.
Vooka Breakfast Show, hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show, hashtag Vooka Nation. I'm being sun-kissed, guys. I'm being sun-kissed.
Okay, let's play that video one more time.
Vooka Breakfast Show, hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show, hashtag Vooka Nation. I'm being sun-kissed, guys. I'm being sun-kissed. Happy Friday.
I love
She was having an appreciation.
I love Nelly's I love Nelly's energy. Nelly, bruh, like your energy is so contagious for me. It's so infectious. I love it, and I wish every member of the Vooka Nation can do exactly what she does, man. Like she sends us these videos. She's in the gym. She's at work. She's getting people involved. Now she's like outside. She's being sun-kissed. I love it. It's so infectious. Man. You know, I wish I was a morning person because I'm not.
You know what? All I can say, I think we're officially voting Nelly as the Vooka Nation fan club president.
I think so.
Because of all of this, man.
I think so.
Hector disappeared. Hector Ugai.
No, man. TK, I bumped into TK on Saturday as well. TK has a few things that are going on in his life, but he's still part of the nation. He's still part of the team. He's a family member. He hasn't left. You know, so I don't want us to discard him just as yet.
Okay, at least voice note or you miss us because we also miss you.
Yeah,
man.
definitely.
Like, you know what? I miss our little family, our little sisterly, brotherly fights where you call me Afro Berry, but I don't have an Afro. You know, I miss those, man. Those feel amazing and they're fantastic. So, you know what, Musi? Like, as I was saying, Guti, yesterday I had a very weird moment. So I was going to the clinic because an appointment there at the clinic. When I went there, was it not I'm a paramedic asendo fire, but Sibona ba represent the operation to Dula. And they were out there checking IDs, my guy. And you know what? Before I even left, my grandmother told me, because, like, no, carry your ID because these people will definitely be there checking out IDs and stuff. So please make sure that you have your ID. And then I got to the gate. They're like, ID. I'm like, you don't work here. It's like, no, I can't remember one if you're a South African. I'm like, you don't have the authority. As much as you're representing Operation Dudula, and I get what you guys want to do, but you do not have the authority. And then you could even see in the security as a clinic, because I called one of the ladies who's a security guard at the clinic. I'm like, oh, so you work here. So can you please do the honors of checking my ID? Because I know you work here. So it means that by law, whatever you do, it's something that is commissioned by the clinic itself, and the company has clearance for that. And then this guy was fighting, like, hey, it's apartheid. I'm like, this person is not even as older as my grandmother. I looked at him, I'm like, yeah, you fought for apartheid. That was then. I'm fighting my struggles right now in South Africa. So what does that have anything to do with you? Yeah, you can see my ID, but bear in mind, you do not have the authority to even do so. And by law, you're at least supposed to have a police representative or the green beans. You're not authorized to do that. I do not know you. People are doing so much identity theft with people's IDs. So for me, it makes no sense for me to show you somebody who does not work for the clinic or somebody who is not officially recognized by a governmental institution to show you my ID. It makes no sense.
I saw these things going on, Operation Tutula, trying to verify people's identities, removing people from taxis. Mr. B, can you try? There we go. Thank you. The volume, his or hers actually. Are you able to mute on our side? Because it's coming through here. But I saw something on the socials, right? This lady was driving 5 a.m. to a clinic somewhere in a township right here in South Africa. And she was checking people's IDs, sending people home. And people were saying, by law, this is should not be happening.
It shouldn't.
Operation Tutula has
it's not
has no right or authority to be checking people's IDs and things like that, and verifying if people are here legally or illegally. And look, the exercise is aimed at sharp. We get it, but in terms of how they go about it, is very, very questionable, right?
They use the wrong methods. Because I was even telling that guy, I'm like, the lady that I'm talking to is not even fighting me. Because the lady, it's
funny, man.
You don't understand, because I was shocked. I'm like, come on, mask, come on, saying you're checking people's IDs. I'm like, what on earth is happening in South Africa? It clearly shows that our government government does not literally care about us, the citizens itself. The reason why I'm saying that is because a random person can literally stand and say, I represent Operation Tudula. Number one, you're not even wearing the shirt, you're not even wearing the beanie, you're not even wearing a jacket. And number two, you don't even have an authorized legal person from South Africa standing with you. There is no officer at the gate to make sure that what you're doing is actually above and equal to the law. When he even ended, this guy ended up even fighting with this other old ladies like, yeah, when I and I'm like, what's happening? Like, it clearly shows. And this person, it's a person who gets drunk Monday to Monday. Imagine where no South African, like, no, man. I feel like there's a lot going on in South Africa, and our president, our country is literally not listening to the citizens. South Africa is a company. We are no longer a country, man.
It's crazy. Give movie. Movie. But in a second, we're going to be hanging out and spending some time getting to know the lovely Asanda Dlamini, who is a traditional healer and author. Are we? Oh, sorry. Upilisiwe. I was about to say Asanda, based on what I'm reading here. But anyway, no worries. We're going to be hanging out with Upilisiwe Siktawu, all right, who is the founder and CEO of Shangoni Foods. As we're leading up to the Soweto Kota Festival that will be taking place right here in the heart of Soweto, Top Center, right next to the Zondi Hills, just before you get to Provincial Kloof, which will be taking place on my birthday, the 6th of September, which I'm so excited about. And so with that being said, I can't wait to find out a bit more about Upilisiwe Siktawu and all the spaces that she's involved in, her journey into food and how she founded Shangoni Foods back in 2020 that is rooted in Edenvale, Boksburg. And Shangoni Foods is a proudly South African culinary brand specializing in traditional African cuisine, butchery, and catering. The name Shangoni, meaning of the land, reflects the business's deep cultural roots and commitment to authentic flavors. What began as a weekend muhodu hustle during the COVID-19 lockdown quickly evolved into a thriving kitchen and butchery. Shangoni Foods offers hearty, home-style meals that honor indigenous cooking traditions, including iskopo, which is sheep's head, umleqwa, which is hard body, I love that, and umnqambulo, which is ox head meat, also including stews served with pap, samp, dumplings, chakalaka, and leafy greens, with delivery available via Uber Eats and catering services for small to medium events. Shangoni Foods continues to grow as a trusted name in township and urban communities alike. I love that. I love that so much. So let me see if we can hear, and if she can hear us. Please talk to us. There we go. Hi, how are you doing? Good morning. I trust and I hope that you are having a great one thus far.
Morning. I'm good. And how are you? Can you hear me? Because I can hear you clearly on my side.
Pilisiwe, I am going to ask you a few things, right? The first thing is that please try to unmute your mic on your side, right? And then the second thing is that we're going to turn the phone around this way. Right, the phone is fine, and then we're going to move it back a bit, or you move yourself a bit backwards so that we can see your face, and then maybe slide it, tilt it up a bit so that we can. There we go. Great stuff. So let's try and unmute your mic on your side, just to make sure if your mic is muted.
I think my mic is
let's unmute
already
it so we can hear you, because we can see you,
can you hear me?
But we can't hear you, and it seems that you can hear us.
So you can't hear me?
Okay. There's still a bit of a challenge with hearing you. The picture is perfect. It's clear. We can see you, but we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Still no sound.
Okay. I'll log out and log in again. I'm not sure what is happening.
There we go. There we go. There we go. Please open on the headphones on our side.
Okay, can you hear me now?
We can. We can. We can. A bit of. There we go. It's great.
Hello.
Hi.
Morning.
There we go, Pilisiwe. We can hear you, and I'm trusting that you can hear us, right?
Yes, I can hear you.
There we go. One last thing. There we go. Hey. We've won. Welcome, Pilisiwe. Good morning. How are you doing this morning?
Good, and how are you?
We're
And
not
thank
too
you for having
bad.
me on the show today.
Absolutely. You're welcome. You're welcome. I was hoping that we were going to have you right in studio with us physically, right? But nonetheless, we are connecting through the power of technology, right? And we're excited. We're happy. How about you? How are you feeling? How are you doing? Talk to us, man.
I'm good, feeling energized. It's a new day. So every morning, one has to look forward to it because every day comes with its own exciting and its own challenges. But nonetheless, you have to find a way to make it work.
I love that.
And I was also hoping to be there as well, but I had a bit of a challenge in the morning. But one of the days I will be able to make it there, so you can also taste the food that you are talking about.
Yes, absolutely. That's something that we really look forward to, man. So thank you for joining us this morning. And God willing, in the future, in the very, very near future, we can hang out physically together in studio, so that you can also come through with some of your plates, your cuisines, your food, so that we can get a taste and genuinely give a sincere review. And I have no doubt whatsoever that the food tastes great, man. Come on, man. And I'm trusting and I'm having faith. So let's jump straight into it, right? We're reading here that Upilisiwe is the founder, right, of Shangoni Foods, which started back in 2020. But I usually like to start with getting to know the person behind the brand. So, as Upilisiwe, talk to us. How do you find yourself getting to a place where you start and create Shangoni Foods? And where does your love for food stem from? Where does it come from? Is it a thing from Ubuntu Anusakhula as a young girl, where you were influenced perhaps by a mother, a grandmother, and an aunt? Or is it something that you came across a bit later on as a young lady, as an adult, that you find yourself being drawn and gravitating towards the space of the food industry?
Upilisiwe, to start with, is a lady born in the Eastern Cape. And I was fortunate enough to be raised by my grandmother, and being the eldest amongst my cousin and my other siblings, I had to learn to cook at an early age. So it's something that I grew up with. And moving to varsity, I used to cook for my classmates and other peers at RES. It's something that I've always loved because it was instilled to me at a very young age. So ukwenza amagwinya and baking, those are things that I learned at a very young age. And thereafter, I started then to find my own passion, which then resulted into Shangoni Foods. Because I remember when I moved to Joburg in 2016, I would crave for usmaili, which is sheep heads. And one that I would find in Joburg, they don't have that authentic taste that I know as how it's prepared at home. So currently, how I prepare my dishes, if you go to Eastern Cape, for example, in Dobsonville, where I was born, the taste of sheep head will be exactly the same as what you will get when you get to the other side.
Yeah,
Man, that
I
was
love
pretty
it.
amazing,
Very
hey?
interesting. I love how you just, described it as usmaili.
Usmaili.
Yeah. I love that so much. Very
That's
cool
the
stuff.
usmaili, yes, because
yeah.
once the sheep head is cleaned and it's ready to eat, you know, almost some people would prefer it deboned because of the teeth and how it looks. So we call it smile because it's already smiling at you.
Yes, definitely, definitely. So I hear the love and the influence that you had growing up, from home and then moving to varsity, and cooking for your friends. And when you moved to Joburg, where you felt you want that homely taste and homely feel of food, right? That you perhaps might not have gotten when you arrived in Joburg. But now, fast forward to 2020, and all of us were affected quite severely so and extensively so by lockdown and COVID-19. How do you get to a point now of starting and creating Ishangoni food?
Okay, so in 2020, one of the reasons, before cooking, I started by selling fresh meat. Because during COVID, there were so many uncertainties around job security. So as someone who's also a breadwinner at home, I was like, let me think out of the box and find something that I can do, which will give me extra income in case there are salary cuts or one loses a job. So then with a friend of mine, we were able to find farms where we can go and source meat. Then I bought like 2 packs of affals, which is your sheep insides. I started posting on my socials. People responded very well. So I will do deliveries with my mask on. Sometimes I'll just drop the parcel at the gate. So that's how the dream started, to make sure that I have income in case anything happens between COVID and now. But fortunate enough, I didn't lose my job, but I was able to have that extra cash into my pocket.
Well, must have been like something very amazing, because I also see here that you're also a former environmental health and safety manager. So, in terms of the job that you did, and obviously also switching, how was the switch from turning from an environmental health safety officer, safety manager, and now you're out there in the kitchen? So, what experience or what value did your previous job add to the current job that you're currently doing?
I like that you pick that as well around me. When it comes to org hygiene and safety, it's what I'm actually even practicing it right now. Because in terms of how the food is handled, I make sure, for example, we have different color-coded boards to make sure that there's no cross-contamination, because it's something that I was also strict about at our own canteen in the workspace. So I am applying the safety principles and org hygiene that I've learned into what I'm doing right now. In terms of PPE, we're making sure that when I come to work, even my staff, everyone is wearing closed shoes to make sure that there won't be any injuries around the space. So how I've set up everything as well, I'm using principles that I've learned throughout my career space.
It's very amazing how you actually managed to basically put in the two and combine them. So we see that you started ngomkhodu. Is mkhodu still the it thing right now, or are you ngomkhodu what's in mina now is smiley forever?
Mina nomkhodu sisosi ngamathenolwimi. My mkhodu is still there. I still sell it fresh because people still love it because it comes clean. You just have to rinse it on your end before you cook it. So it's still there. There's no shangoni without our mukhodu.
Oh, that's nice. So if I'm correct, I also heard that you started selling meat, you and a friend of yours, during COVID, right? As another way of finding residual income, right?
Correct, yes.
Yes. So is it still something that you guys are currently doing? Is it still shangoni food, and also selling meat on the side, obviously still as a way of having residual income?
So right now I'm full-time in the business. So we call our business a restaurant and a butchery because we still sell fresh meat. And now it's no longer mukhodu only, but we have access to any meat. We sell meat hampers, so it's still there.
No, man, that is pretty amazing, man. I love that. And I love the fact that you have managed to intertwine the two things that basically made you and made you the beautiful brand that you have become. So when it also comes to your very inspirational journey, how has your family, basically your mother and your grandmother and aunt, received the new venture that you have now entered? Because you did say that your mom, your gran, and your aunt are the biggest motivators in terms of basically bringing food that you grew up eating. No, I'm saying when it comes to the food that you grew up eating at home with your grandmother, your mom, and your aunt, how have they Can you hear me now? Hello?
Okay. No worries. No worries. We'll try to resolve that because I am seeing on our comment section, Simami says they can't seem to make out what Upilisiwe is saying. So we'll try and restore connectivity for you very quickly. Yeah. No worries, Pilisi. We're trying to sort that out for you because it seems like there is a bit of a connectivity struggle and issue on our side. I don't think it's on you, Pilisi, but we'll try and get that sorted out so that we can jump back into the conversation with Upilisiwe Sikawu, the founder of Shangoni Foods, right? That is based and rooted in Edenville, Boksburg. That is a proudly South African culinary brand specializing in traditional African cuisine. So with that being said, you know what we should do? Let's quickly, because we have been talking for quite a second. The PDC, don't go anywhere. We're going to be back with you literally in a second so that we can jump back into the conversation because clearly people are wanting to find out a bit more about Upilisiwe and her journey into food, saying that when no smiley, iskopa, you guys are just like Umati Nolimi, right? So I can't wait to find out a bit more about that. So with that being said, let's give you your latest financial indicators, and then you and I and Afri Perry and Mrs. Pilisiwe will see each other right after this very cool stuff.
Yeah, and then
innovation, right? Because traditional food is traditional food, you know. I think there are only a limited number of ways you can prepare. There are only a number of ways you can prepare traditional food, you know, like you said, Ismaili and all of those other stuff. So how do you balance innovation, especially as you grow and adapt to urban taste and delivery platforms? How do you navigate that space?
To be honest with you, when it comes to traditional food, you don't want to add more. Usually they say less is more. But what I'm doing, when it comes to plating my dish, it should be appetizing because people eat with their eyes. So how I dish, it's a bit that I couldn't come there, but you can check on my socials, starting with the plating, because when you eat my food, even when people come into the restaurant, they wouldn't think they will be served traditional food because of how the setup is. So, for example, if I were to go home now, I know it will just be dished on my plate. However, on my end, I even garnish it to make sure that it looks the part, because this is what people are interested in, because the food must tell you a story before you can even bite it. But when it comes to traditional food, you don't want to add more. Tripe needs to taste like tripe. You don't want your tripe to taste like something else, because now you're gonna miss the whole point of bringing the traditional food on the table.
I love it. I love it. I love it so much. So, you built Ishangwani Foods from the ground up, man. Balcony to butchery. And what do you think are some of, and especially considering around the time that you started this business, what were some of the toughest lessons that you had to learn as an upcoming business woman? And how would you advise anyone else who's wanting to go into the space of culinary and just business in general, how would you advise them to navigate it and approach it and go about it in general?
Okay, some of the challenges that I faced when I started with fresh meat, like I would source meat, and then people would order but not pay, but I will still source it. And then at the end, some will say, no, I'm not around. Can you deliver next week? So those were some of the challenges that I faced where I had to lose some products. However, I instilled a principle, which is you order, you pay, and then we deliver, to make sure that everything is secure. You don't want any losses, especially if you're a small business, you are not funded. Even if you are funded, you want to make sure that you use your money effectively. So if anyone wants to start a business of selling fresh meat, I would personally advise them to make sure that before you deliver, before you even go and source meat, make sure that you have payment into the account so that you don't find yourself with any losses. And people need to be accountable, because the minute you order something, you know you have paid for it. You'll make sure that you make time to be at the house to get your order or to collect at the restaurant. I like to say, no, I will pay when I get there. So that would be my first advice. And secondly, when it comes to cooking food, make sure that you practice your recipe before you send it out there to say, I am selling a cooked mkhodu. The taste needs to be the same. So don't just rush anything. Practice it first, have few people to test it, and make sure that you are ready to run with it the minute you start doing it.
I love that. I love that so much. It sounds like there's so much passion and love and drive behind, you know.
Sorry, 1 second. I just need to move to a car because there are customers coming in.
Okay, no worries. No worries. We're still in conversation with Upilisi Wesikau, but we don't want to keep her for too long. As you can see that
there are customers
coming in wanting to consume this great African cuisine that she cooks up on a day-to-day basis. So keep sharing your thoughts, your opinions, and everything else in between. We'd love to hear from you. What do you think of this, journey that she's been on? And I don't know about you, but in my opinion, I think it would really be worth, the drive out to Edenvale.
Yeah, man, it would.
To try and get a feel of, firstly, where she works out, right? And then secondly, of course, the food on the plate, like you just mentioned as an example, Usmaili, would love to hear and taste actually all this food that we're talking about. So I want to go ahead, keep sharing your thoughts, your opinions, and everything else in between on our comment section on YouTube using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. So that's Vooka Breakfast Show on Facebook and all other social media platforms. The conversation keeps on continuing on our WhatsApp line by dialing the number 060 493 3226. That's 060-493-3226. And then the conversation also still continues on our website by hitting the URL www.vookaDaily.co.za. That's www.vookaDaily.co.za. Mr. Steve, are we winning with PDC on that side? Okay, no worries. But there was just some of the things that we got to learn about OPDC. But she did promise us that she would come back, soon. Very soon, so that she'll come with this food and then we get to taste and then we give authentic review, as to how her food tastes and stuff.
Yeah. I'm not one to follow the normal nose.
Okay, I see you. I haven't had it in a while, so maybe we should buy it here in studio sometime soon. But with that being said, we're still going to be hanging out with Asanda Dlamini, a traditional healer and an author. And I'm also excited to find out a bit more about that. Because the equipment in the studio this day, I don't know what's happening. I
think we just need some holy water somewhere. Yeah, we're going to sprinkle some of that holy water.
Asanda maybe should help us, Chief, to try and figure out what's happening, So with that being said, the conversation is still continuing. This is where radio meets TV, only and exclusively right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blanco Network, only and exclusively right here. This is where we have all-encompassing, compelling, and of course thought-provoking conversations that are aimed at giving so much information and knowledge, right, so that you and I can equip ourselves moving in in our lives on a day-to-day basis. Scintillating conversations, thought-provoking discussions, bold discussions with industry professionals, so that we can try and get a bit knowledge and information. And right about now we're about to get into a conversation with Sis Asanda Dlamini, right? And I can't wait for this one. I'm very, 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 very excited for this one. Let me try and make sure that her and I can hear each other. Sis Asanda, talk to me. Are you receiving me? Am I receiving you? Are we connecting? Are the things doing the things that are necessary? Thank you so much. We're not too bad on our side this morning, except for the fact that it seems like our equipment is not on our side for some reason. I don't know what's happening. All right, because it's technically a Monday for us. Because yesterday we couldn't stream because of load reduction and load shedding difficulties, but we're back on a Tuesday morning. So I am going to ask you one thing, Sis Asanda. You have your phone this way right now. I'm going to ask you to turn it this way, and then have it on auto route. There we go. There we go. Hey. This is perfect. We're great. We're great. We're great. I love it. So if you're wondering who Usis Asanda is, Asanda Dlamini is a full-time healer whose journey into spiritual practice was both profound and timely. Though she had always carried a spiritual gift, her calling intensified during COVID-19 pandemic. Just as she was completing her final year in political science and criminology. In 2020, she earned her degree and courageously embraced her ancestral path. Since 2021, Asanda has been practicing as a healer, offering guidance, restoration, and spiritual alignment to those seeking clarity and healing. Her work is rooted in authenticity, intuition, and a deep respect for tradition. I love it. I love it so much. Welcome, Asanda. We really appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us and get to know you a bit more, man. How is it going this Tuesday morning? Yeah. Not too bad. Not too bad. Like I said, this is technically a Monday for us, but we're here and we're doing the things that are necessary to be done. So talk to me. Take us back to a time before the title of healer. Who were you growing up as Asanda? You said that you always had this spiritual inclination, growing up. So take us back to a time when Asanda was a little girl in primary, in high school. You are finishing high school, you're jumping into varsity, and you're just a young lady trying to figure herself out and finding yourself in this, very confusing and confused world. How do we get to see a picture into Asanda's life? I can imagine. I can only imagine. I always find it so intriguing and interesting for individuals who come from a very Christian-based, a church-based background, especially if you are a family or you are someone who has been attending a charismatic church, right? Or a charismatic denomination, right? That's the word I was looking for. And then now to find yourself having to go into traditional healing, ubungoma, or ukuba umthandazi, or any of those kinds of spaces. How do you guys as a family, how do you firstly as Asanda reconcile with it? And then eventually as a family who is Christian and church-based, how do you guys reconcile and make sense of it and eventually find a way to navigate it? Asanda, I'm going to interrupt you. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Just so that we in studio can hear you and everyone else on who's watching and listening can hear you, right? Our technicals is trying to take care of that. But I can tell you that already we have Ntabiseng Sukokotla says my favorite Nkhono and Queen. So I'm assuming this is someone that you are aware of, someone that you're familiar with. I see that. I love that. I love when people come through and share their thoughts, right, with the people that we have joining us right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. And then we have another one. Usbongiles Kosana says Togozani Gogo Asanda. I love that. So these are people who clearly know you. Right? So like I said, Sbongile, we're trying to sort out the sound thing and we're good now. I'm being told that we're good. So you and I can hear each other and Afriberry can hear you as well. But we're just trying to make sure that everyone else who's watching and who's appreciating you, because clearly now this is testament to who you are and the work that you've been putting in, throughout the entirety of your journey. So you were telling us, just to go back a bit about your journey and how you guys as a family and you as an individual try to reconcile the new journey now that you had to take on as someone who has always, I guess, been spiritually inclined.
So, like I had said, so I had to guide them through now having to understand what I have, these gifts and Christianity. and trying to merge the two. But the biggest concern was school, honestly, to be quite honest with you. So we had to, I had to have a family consultation with everyone there. Imagine, jwalo ungwana, you are summoning elders to say, we need to consult, and I need you guys to understand that this thing, I'm not making it up. So, it was a challenge and a half.
I can imagine. Imagine kumele uhlalise abantu abadala phansi manje as
Yo,
umntana. I can imagine. I can imagine. You know, because already, I mean, as young people, with any conversation that you have to have, it might not necessarily have to be a difficult one. You know, but just to hlalisa abantu abadala phansi and just having to explain to them, you know, what you are going through and how it's affecting you, firstly as an individual, and then secondly how it will affect everyone else within the family house, the family dynamic and the household in its entirety, you know. So now fast forward to you are part of the journey, you are in it now. What are some of the things that you are going through? How do you learn? How do you navigate? How do you balance your own personal life as Asanda and school as well? Because this is now towards the end of your varsity journey. And how do you navigate balancing all of those aspects in your life and this new journey that you are on at this point in time?
Number one, it's understanding your new reality, understanding that your things are changing and they are taking a whole new direction. They had to begin with, at least. I kid you not, a week after my graduation, I had to go in your Paramises too. So those were some of the challenges that we were faced with. And I think the biggest one for me would be dying to self, you know, accepting that the life I thought I was going to live is actually not what I'm going to live. I have a new reality awaiting me. I have people that I need to help. I need to navigate this new journey with a new perspective on how things are going to be.
Very interesting. And I can imagine just the difficulty that you went through. I can't. I can't see myself going through it, you know, myself, and I can only imagine some of the difficulties that you went through, and some of the challenges that you went through that we're in a second going to get into. But I mean, you've completed your degree in political science and criminology during the height of the pandemic. This is now 2020, 2021, COVID-19, right? How did that shape your decision to fully embrace your journey and your ancestral calling? Because like you said, I'm sure it must have been not such an easy one to fully now say, you know what, this is what I've been called to do, and there's no running away from it now. There's no saying, hi, Bokoko iman gancane, man, ngizonibona after 5 years, man. Let me figure out myself after varsity. How do you go about that? How did that perhaps also shape and influence your decision to fully embrace your journey?
To be quite honest, I'd say it really helped me, because now remember we were in isolation and I was off campus. Most of us were off campus or we're back. So it helped me not be exposed to people. I can only imagine how it was going to be if I was exposed to crowds. So being at home, I felt slightly safer because now I was with family and I could do my things, even though they were not fully engaged or they didn't have an understanding then, but I was in a safe space. I was home. So I could fully do my things without feeling weird.
Yeah. That's pretty amazing. Sorry, Afroberry here. So I've noticed that you've also described your work as rooted in authenticity. What does authenticity mean to you in a spiritual context?
Authenticity would mean being real, being yourself, being true to what you are called to do, being true to your mission, not trying to be something that you're not or someone that you're not, understanding your journey and what you're called to do and executing exactly that.
No, that's pretty amazing. So right now, so right now we're also going to be talking about the impact and the community, right? So when it comes to healing, what kind of healing or restoration do people most often seek when they come to you? And are there any occurring themes that you've noticed or patterns that you've noticed when people do come to you and ask for guidance when it comes to healing and basically becoming oneself?
Okay. So most of the time it would be water, because that's what I use. It's my main tool to connect and heal. So most of the people that come to me usually need healing through water and prayer, of course, and to just align themselves to what is happening to them or their reality. Most of the time I'd get people that are misaligned, right? And they need healing, they need to be aligned. So what I have seen as a factor is some people have psychological issues and not necessarily spiritual. So they try to spiritually bypass psychological issues. So that's what I've noted with some of my patients.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Yes.
you know, your academic background is in political science and criminology. How do those disciplines inform your approach in your healing process? Firstly, as you as a healer, right, as someone who had to individually, physically, emotionally go through this journey. And then, of course, the healing that you offer to your patients as well. Because I'll tell you, a couple of, not even a couple of weeks, I think a month or two ago, we had someone called Umkhulu Amir. And Umkhulu Amir is a Sangoma who also has teachings and practices in Kemetic style of healing, shamanism as well. You know, he has quite a few influences that play a role in his process and his journey. And he also mentioned that you yourself as an individual, as whether umtandazi, isangoma, a traditional healer, however you want to describe it, there's a healing process that you have to go through. You know, because it takes quite a toll on you as you embark on this journey. So how do you think the disciplines that you studied for inform your approach in this healing process?
I'm going to be very honest with you.
Sure.
And my guides don't care about my degrees.
But if we
They
get
really don't. Technology and political science,
Yeah.
They don't care. So what they do is, if they're glad I study and I've studied, that's good. It's good and well. I don't even use criminology and political science at all for my practice. But what they do is, or what they did rather, I had to die to self. That was really intense. It was ego death. I had to undergo a process where I'm just in absolute isolation. Even now, I'm still in isolation, but it's something that they do, even though I'm not aware of it sometimes immediately, but they take me through processes that will make me understand more of the journey that I'm on. Criminology and political science, that's for these interviews and other things that I do. They don't care.
I love
They really
that.
don't.
I love that. I always find it very interesting, you know, as individuals who are spiritually inclined. I find it interesting, you know, with your inclination and your journey, and then what you do outside of that, like merging those two or three or a couple of worlds together, right? Because Umuntu can be involved in quite a number of different spaces. So I always find it very interesting that how do you merge this? The one thing that a lot of the spiritually inclined individuals we've had in studio mention, or the one occurring thing that is quite similar that they say is that you know, you talk to your guides or you ask them to have a time and place where they can actually come forward and communicate with you, you know, because the guy I just mentioned, Mkulu Amir, is in advertising. And he does mention that, you know, he'll be in a board meeting somewhere, he'll be in a briefing or whatever, and there'll be this communication coming. You know, for me, I've always found that so fascinating. Like, I'll be doing the Vooka Breakfast Show now as Umusi missed. And then, you know, there's this thing coming. So I've always found it so fascinating. How do you guys go on about that, where you balance your spiritual inclination with your professional life, you know, and have the two not interfere and clash with each other, but to try and find some form of balance, or a way where they cohabitate within you? Because this is something that you have within you, right? It's all encompassing. It's always going with you. So how do you balance that? You know, where you are, because like you mentioned earlier, Uguti, they literally had to ask for you. And then she will fully embrace this gift that you guys are bestowing upon her. So how do you navigate the space of balancing both your spiritual side of things and of course your professional life?
Yes. Luckily for me, I am a full-time healer in my space.
Okay.
So that makes a whole lot easy. So I don't work for anyone. Thank goodness for now. So I'm still studying. I'm still undergoing my law degree. So for me now, I'm not in a professional space. But let's say, for example, I'd go to the gym. I try by all means to at least spend an hour to an hour and 30 minutes max. I can't do anything more than that. When I'm in crowded spaces, I get overwhelmed. So I quickly want to go back home. So that's just how it is.
I see. Very interesting. I'm going to ask you one thing, just to tilt. There we go. Just to tilt your phone a bit up so that we can see you. There we go. Great stuff. Great stuff. So I hear you. You go to the gym. You're still studying. But what does a typical day look like for Asanda? You know, you're going on about your own life because you started practicing back in 2021. So what does a typical day look like as for your spiritual work, for your studies, just in J as Asanda? What does the day look like for you?
Right. So I wake up, of course, consultations if I have, river cleansings if I have, come back, eat. Usually when I work, I don't go to the gym or do any other thing. So it would just be healing work. And if I have orders, process that, deliver, come back, rest.
I love that. I love that so much. Yeah.
Oh, that's very interesting. So one other thing that I wanted to find out is that, we're basically talking about the day and age that we currently live in, which is basically a world where people are very disconnected from tradition and obviously the belief systems that most of our grandparents and great-grandparents grew up believing in when it comes to Africanacity and African spirituality itself. So I wanted to know, how do you help people reconnect with their spiritual roots when they come to you and say, you know what, I want to find myself back with my African roots? How do I go about basically connecting to them or going back to Mother Nature itself?
It's the willingness a person has to have in order to connect. You know, sometimes a person would want to connect, but they're just doing it at that time. But they are not necessarily there. You know, when you want to do something just to get it over and done with. So it's the willingness to want to connect, to want to understand, to be patient. In other words, it's the principle behind what you're asking for. Because to connect, you can go to Mfuleni, you can go to the mountain, you can go to the veld, caves, ocean, so forth and so on. But you need to have a willing heart. You need to have your spirit aligned to what you're asking for. I don't know if I'm answering you.
No, definitely. So we also found out that there is a book that's there, right? Let's talk a little bit about that now. Finding yourself getting to the space of authorship. How does that come about, and what does the book talk about essentially?
All right, that came about as a vision actually, that I should move in that direction. I was quite excited about it. We have three journals. We have Istunya that focuses more on umuntu osandukala with their spiritual work.
Oh, wow.
We have the healing and the energy, which has to do with the psychological of a person that just started on their spiritual journey or not. And then we have the dream journal, which has to do with dreams.
So basically, is it safe to say that your books are basically guides to people on a spiritual journey?
Yes, absolutely.
I love that. I think I think I gravitate a bit more to the dream journal. You know, I remember, if she's not the first, she's one of the first individuals we had here in studio. Gogo Matlodi, who's also a cultural worker, someone who's quite spiritually inclined herself. And she touched a bit on dreams and the power of dreams, you know, some of the things that contribute to us not dreaming as often, or things that can act and play as dream blockers, things like smoking and drinking, not having a great diet, and there's just quite a few things, right? And then there's a listener and a viewer of ours who commented and said that she often dreams of lions. But these lions don't attack her. They don't do anything scary or try to harm her or anything. They just sit there with her and just be in her space. And Gogo Matlodi interpreted this dream as very beautiful, right? Because she said that those were her guides, and they are showing her that they are with her always, and they're protecting her, and they're just there. So I think I would gravitate towards the dream journal. So, but let's talk a bit more about the power of dreams as well. You know, we have various dreams. Some are great, some are not so great, some are funny, some feel like deja vu. You feel like you've actually lived that moment. How do we go on about interpreting all of these kinds of dreams that we have? Do they always have significance in our lives? Is it a song, a movie that I watched and I'm replaying in my subconscious? Or is it an actual thing that I should take into consideration? And maybe even to a certain extent consult and come to someone like Asanda to find more information about it?
Sometimes, you know what, with dreams, sometimes it would be something that maybe you are stressing about, or something that you've been thinking about over and over again. So now your conscious mind would send a message to your subconscious to say, this person has been thinking about A, B, C, D, E. Now we're dreaming of that particular thing, or how it would play out. But in some cases or some instances, it would be a message that you need to focus on, or maybe just take note of, especially if it's repetitive. So if it's something that you dream about over and over and over again, it's something you should really pay attention to.
Very interesting.
It is, man, because a lot of people have also noticed that dreams carry a lot of things, man. It's either they will put the fear in you or put the courage in you. So I think for the journal, the dream ones, just like Musi, I'm more interested in that one. Because I know myself, I have some dreams that I failed to understand or literally interpret on what they mean exactly. And having a guide, a journal that will be actually able to help me understand some of the dreams that I have in a much more broader perspective, I think is very amazing, hey? So for that one, Koka Santa ngiyakubonga for that one.
And hopefully maybe, you know, Sister Sandra, you can actually come through on a Thursday, you know, for spiritual alignment. And maybe you can dive a bit deeper. Delve a bit deeper into this conversation, you know, because I honestly, and I could be wrong, but I think to quite an extent, a whole lot of us in society as individuals are quite lost, and we are looking and seeking for so much guidance. And I think people like yourselves who have been gifted this gift, or who've been granted this accessibility to the other side, which is the spiritual realm that is absolutely, I believe, is alive and here and living and breathing. You know, it's just that not all of us are able to tap into it. So it's individuals like yourselves who have been granted this accessibility, who can help us guide and navigate slightly a bit better, our day-to-day lives. We take for granted waking up, coming to work, and going back home, but you don't realize that the Holy Spirit is always with you. Your guides are always with you, whether you believe or not. I believe anyway that there is a higher being or higher entity that is always with us. We carry energy with us, but having been now an author, and especially in a space or in a topic, I guess, of discussion that is quite controversial, because over the years growing up, we've seen that there are quite a lot of untrue, spiritually inclined individuals. So how has the journey been now as an author? How are the books behaving? Is the reception great? Do you find that it is something that you might continue delving in a bit deeper, informing people, giving them the correct information as to what the space of Ubungoma has to do with just being a spiritually inclined individual?
The books are doing really well. The reception is great. Even though sometimes we get backlash for running out of journals.
Oh, wow.
But really well. So yeah, and we are actually very grateful and thankful for that.
I love that. I love that. I'm sure you can see behind you, Afriberry, that there are quite a number of books behind her there on the shelf, and most of them are of authors who have come in studio. So now this is me opening the floor up for quite a number of conversations, right? We can talk and do a book review on all three books on a Monday or on a Tuesday morning, and then of course have you back again on a Thursday for spiritual alignment. So this is me, opening up the floor for exploration here, and a number of great conversations and discussions that I genuinely think that a lot of people could find so much information and knowledge and learn from. We need more people like yourself. So in closure, for someone who is listening and feels spiritually stuck or unsure, what's the first gentle step you would recommend? Someone feels like something is weighing on them and they don't know how to explain it and go on about it, interpreting it, and all of those things. What's the one first gentle step you would recommend for them?
Listen to your intuition. That has to be my most favorite thing. Listen to your intuition. Most of us are always being guided. We just don't want to listen to this inner voice. Voice, you know what? You need to go to the water. You need to go cleanse just to release these energies, or just to release So just listen to your intuition, assess your dreams, because the messages are there. Honestly, the message is there, and then take lead from there.
I love that.
No, man, that's pretty amazing, man. So when it comes to people, what's that one tip that you could give them that they could do maybe on a daily basis or occasionally or on a fortnight that would help them to basically find calm within themselves, especially if they also want to reunite with their spiritual self?
Meditate. Just sit in silence. Even if maybe you don't know how to do it, start by just sitting in silence. Listen to yourself. Take time to just forget about the chaos, forget about the external voices. Sit down and just meditate and listen to your voice.
This I heard about a year ago. Someone said this to me. And, they made an example of a ticking clock. There was a clock in the room as we were having this conversation. And, she said, sit for like a second and actually listen to the clock going by. And you can actually, there's so much noise within the silence. There's so much that actually is being communicated just by the space in itself, by the universe. I don't know. I don't care what you want to describe it as, but there's so much that is being said within that silence. And it was just a profound thing for me. And now that you are also saying it again, I think this is something that I need to really start practicing myself a bit more, you know, because we're so consumed by our daily lives. In Vooka breakfast show, you know, I'm studying as Asanda, I'm doing this, that, and the other. I mean, e-hailing is this, that, you know, there's so much going on in our lives. But we never actually take a time and a moment to just sit in silence and just listen, you know, and we can find out so much. So, in closure, Sister Sanda, are there any ways that we can get a hold of you? Someone is listening, is watching, wants to get in touch with Asanda, wants to find out a bit more about the spaces you're involved in, interpretation, and all of those things. How do we reach out to you? WhatsApp, social media, emails, everything else in between. Talk to us.
All right. So on TikTok, it's Asanda Dlamini _official. Apparently, there's so many other fake pages, but this is my only main spiritual account. Asanda Dlamini _official. And then on WhatsApp, it's 062 632 0133.
One more time, please, for the WhatsApp number.
062 632 0133.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So let me actually, for the WhatsApp part, we've heard that there are healers, you know, spiritually inclined individuals who consult over WhatsApp. You know, it's a thing. How is it a thing? Is it a really a true thing? Or is it a thing that came up as into a trend and it started making the rounds on social media? Can I actually reach out to you as Asanda and you and I can have a consultation session through WhatsApp and it's actually genuine? You would give me authentic stuff.
Yes, it can happen.
Yeah.
I mean, but we're not stuck in 1941 anymore. Times are progressing. So are our guides, so are our methods, so are different ways in which we use to connect with people and our ancestors. So it is very much possible. And I do offer telephonic consultations.
I love that. I love that. It would be interesting and fascinating for me to observe and see that, experience that. I don't you know, because I don't know. It's just an intriguing space that you guys are in for me. It's very, very intriguing and enlightening. So thank you, Asanda. We appreciate. Thank you so much. And hopefully, God willing, in the very near future, we can actually have you here physically in studio with us so that we can, you know, delve into this conversation a bit more and learn a bit more, unpack, break some misconceptions, debunk some false information that is out there, and just give people authentic stuff so that they can go on about their day-to-day lives with real information.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye. Likewise.
Cool
Bye.
stuff.
Thank you very much.
Very, very cool stuff. Some call it intuition. Others call it a gift. But for today's guest, it's called that. It's a calling that couldn't be ignored. At a time when the world was unraveling, lockdowns, uncertainty, isolation, Asanda Dlamini wasn't stepping into something ancient, something sacred. She had just completed her degree in political.
We can actually hear Upilisa. Can you cut that?
There we go. Asanda Dlamini was stepping into something ancient, something sacred. She had just completed her degree in political science and criminology, but the ancestors had other plans for her. Since 2021, Asanda has been walking the path of a full-time healer, offering clarity, restoration, and spiritual alignment to those seeking more than just answers. They're seeking home. This morning, we sat with a woman whose work is rooted in authenticity, guided by her intuition, and wrapped in deep respect for tradition. Stay with us, as this conversation continues on our social media platforms, because this conversation is about healing and not just about the body, but of the soul. So it was very intriguing to find out some of the things that she shared with us this morning. So with that being said, the time right about now is 9:45. 45 minutes after the hour 9 o'clock, 15 minutes before the hour 10 o'clock. We're about to wrap up very quickly with Sis Pilisiwe, with Shangoni Foods. Sis Pilisiwe, talk to me. Are you back with us now?
Pilisiwe.
Unmute there, Steve.
Sis Pilisiwe, can you hear us?
Pilisiwe, please try unmuting your phone and then turning it around again this way. Unmute the mic on your side and then turning the phone around this way. There we go. Just tilt it back a bit so that we can see you. And then I don't know if it's us or you on your side to unmute the mic, Mr. Steve. Is your mic muted, Pilisiwe? But with that being said, we're still diving into the conversation of Shangoni Foods as we are about to wrap up this morning's episode. But with that being said, we do still keep apologizing for all the technical glitches and difficulties that we have been experiencing this morning, man. This is all the beauty and the great stuff that happens with live broadcasting, right? Bringing you all authentic conversations. Can you hear us? Can we hear you? Let's unmute on your side. The mic says Pilisiwe. Are you winning? I mean, we can see you. We can see your mouth moving. But I'm not too sure if the mic on your side is unmuted. It's not unmuted.
No, it's not. I can see she's like literally
trying to press
something there, but it's not happening.
Are you not winning?
No, she's not, and she's seriously talking like.
Okay, no worries. As we try to fix that, let's quickly go pay our bills, grab a cup of water, a glass of water, a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, so that we can warm ourselves up, not each other, but warm ourselves up, because it's still winter, guys. Give it a month or so. But with that being said, let's see each other right after this so that we can continue and wrap up with the conversation with Pilisiwe. Cool stuff?
How? Chomi, you still cooking with cha, salt, and prayers. But don't stress, ungawari, because your time to shine in the kitchen is here. Amapele Spices for Africa and the Vooka Breakfast Show have said, let's bless you with some spices that will slap harder than Umama's 7 colors. Vooka Flavor Fridays is here. We're serving flavor, vibes, and vibes with flavor. Flavor Fridays is the only plug you need to turn your kitchen into a 5-star chill spot. For 8 weeks, you stand a chance to win spice hampers that take your meals from meh to just by subscribing and tuning into your daily dose of positivity for an energetic start to the day. So Haibo, what are you waiting for? Don't miss out. Flavor is calling. Waza.
Well, yeah, shopping blossom and yes.
Wow. Leading up to the 6th of September, my birthday. Hey, I love saying that.
You love the way it sounds.
I love saying that. I love saying that. I don't know what's happening. These things are not working now. But leading up to the 6th of September, the Vooka Festival. Hey, there we go. There we go. Hey. There we go. Hey, I love it. So we're leading up to the 6th of September, and we're talking all things Shangoni foods that was started back in 2020, rooted and based in Boksburg, Edenvale, and run by Shangoni, founded by, not Shangoni, but Usis Pilisi, and the name of the business is Shangoni Foods. So in closure, Sis Pilisi, as we were talking, before all those glitches and those difficulties we were experiencing, we were just going through some of the things that you have gone through, throughout your journey. So things like social media having played a big role in your growth, right?
Yes.
Which platform do you think surprised you the most in terms of engagement and customer loyalty?
Okay, I've been using Facebook, but 2023, I started with TikTok and it's been amazing. So TikTok has been doing wonders to date.
Yeah. I see a lot of people are making use of TikTok. Guys, Lynn, I think maybe I should start engaging a bit more.
I need to go back to posting.
Yeah.
I've been reluctant myself. I've been just, I don't know, not doing the things that are needed to be done. So you've mentioned that wanting to become a qualified chef, all right, is something that is in the pipeline for you, is something that you want to go into. So what kind of training or mentorship would you make that dream a reality? How would you want to start and go on about, fulfilling your dream of becoming a professional chef one day?
Yes, I do want to become a professional chef one day, but that requires money. I made some goals. For example, at Capsicum Culinary School, it costs about 80 to 90,000 rand. So it's not something that the business can afford at this stage. However, if I can get funding, then I will definitely register because they offer classes on Saturdays as well.
I love that. So, I mean, there's quite a few people listening and watching right now, right? And one or two people might feel like, hey, you know what? I also one day want to start a food business, but that person feels overwhelmed, Sis Pilisiwe, and is listening to you with yo Pilisiwe started this business during COVID-19, during lockdown, and 4 or 5 years later this business is still thriving, right? What's the one piece of advice do you think you would give that person, Uti? Go on, start, and it will work out.
For me, I would say to that person, start with what you have. I started selling meat in 2020, and 2021 I started selling food takeaways from my house. So people would order, then I would cook on weekends. So the growth doesn't happen overnight. And you also need to know what your people want. So start with what you have, and then you build slowly. Because I have dreams as well. Like, for example, when I look at Sibam Tongana in Cape Town, I want to see myself there one day. But she didn't become Siba that she is today. Everything starts slowly. So start with what you have, feel the fear, and do it anyway.
I love that. Feel the fear and do it anyway. I love that. That's so cool. I like it so much. So, just in closure, right, because we're about to wrap up as well this side for this morning's stream. Shangoni Foods has been in existence for a couple of years now, and you have been tackling the space of business and being a businesswoman. So, for Shangoni Foods, what is the future looking like in the next 3 to 5 years? Is there a dream or a dish, perhaps, or a destination that you're working towards, a space that you want to start tackling and work in? What does the next 3 to 5 years, or just the future in general, what does it look like for, firstly, you as Upilisi, and then, of course, for Shangoni Foods?
For myself, I want to empower myself, especially around business, and be able to coach other females in the industry, because there will be a young Pilisio out there who wants to do the same or even something better than what I'm currently doing. And for Shangoni, the dream at the moment is to have a second branch and to franchise at national level, become the first African cuisine that you can find anywhere. Because I mean, when you go to Limpopo or to Durban, you find KFC. So I would like to see Shangoni foods at that level one day.
I like that. Branching out, being countrywide, nationwide, wherever la siya khona, sihlangane neShangoni foods. I love
Yes.
that. I love that. It will be so cool. I can see it in my mind already, man. Very, very cool stuff. Afriperi, one last thing maybe on your side.
Yeah, so my last question is, if you could ever invite 3 people to basically share a Shangoni meal with you, who would it be and why those 3 people?
If I were to have 3 people,
Yes, who could have a meal at your restaurant with you. Who are those people and why would you invite those 3 people?
um, okay, the first person will have my grandfather to start with, because he hasn't been to my restaurant to see what he has instilled in me. The second person that I would like to come and taste Shangoni foods, that will be Usiba, the chef, as I've mentioned earlier. And the other person that inspires me is Uonezwa. So those are the people that I would love to host at the restaurant. And I cannot leave behind Somizi, because his character is something that can also bring the vibe into the restaurant.
I love that.
That's amazing. You have a very wonderful list, eh? Especially, I'm there especially for the granddad, because without them, I bet you wouldn't have the greatest motivation that you have right now to basically make Shangoni Foods the best eatery in Edenville. So I bet having him there would be one of the biggest and happiest moments of your life, right?
Yes.
I love that. I love that. In closing, there's an ingredient in your life, right? In Shangoni Foods' life, that is always there, whether it's an actual ingredient or something metaphorical, right? That makes Shangoni Foods unforgettable. In one thing, Ongashuguti, you know what, Musi, if you were to come through to Shangoni Foods, this is the one thing that will really make Shangoni Foods unforgettable for you. What's that one thing? What's that one ingredient do you think makes Shangoni Foods unforgettable?
Okay, maybe I'll mention 2 things.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah, so that one ingredient is love and warmth as you walk in. But when it comes to our dishes, one thing that you should try is our lamb or ox liver. That one, I can bet my life with it. So it's something that you should definitely try when you come here.
So love and warmth, and then on the side served with the lamb.
Correct.
I love it.
Now we definitely need a taste of that.
Absolutely, absolutely. We need to have you in studio or us visit Shangoni Food so that we can feel this love and warmth as we walk in. I'm very excited, man. Like it feels and it sounds like it's a great experience.
And something also from my end,
Yes,
on the
definitely.
question you asked earlier around what is it that I can advise someone. Many a times we start things because it's what on our minds, but without really understanding how the business works. So my advice to anyone is to get a mentor, so that you can have someone who will be able to check your blind spots, because you won't know everything. And also network with people so you can understand how you can do things better and improve to make sure that you are unique from other people around. But getting a mentor will really help you, because I have a mentor, and before we can talk, she will ask me, what are the numbers? Because a business cannot really function without knowing where the numbers are. Are you making profit? Are you making losses? But get a mentor who will really, really take you far.
I love that. I love that so much. Thank you, Sikau. Pilisiwe, sorry, sis Pilisiwe. So someone is listening and is watching and is hearing all of these wonderful things that we're talking about. How do they reach out to you? How do they get in touch with you? Emails, WhatsApp numbers, phone calls, social media, and everything else in between. Talk to us. How do we go on about that?
Our number is 063-248-7000. You can call us or WhatsApp us on that number to place your order or any inquiries that you might have. On socials, Facebook, it's Shangoni Foods. Our website is shangonifoods.co.za. On Instagram, it's at shangonifoods_SA. And on TikTok, it's Shangoni Foods.
No, amazing. Thank you very much.
And then
for
our
that
address, it's number 61 Van Riebeeck Avenue in Edenvale.
I love it. I'm sure a lot of people are going to start flocking to Edenvale, to Shangoni Foods. I, for one, will make it a thing and make sure that I come through whenever I'm in the East Rand. I'm in Edenvale. Or is it the South? I'm not too sure. Is it the South or the East?
Yes, East Rand.
East Rand, yes, yeah. So I'm going to make it a point that I visit Shangoni Foods whenever I'm in Edenvale and so that when I come back, I can attest to this and say, yes, I tasted the lamb that Mrs. Pilisiwe was talking about, and she spoke truth and nothing else. But with that being said, Pilisiwe, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us, share a bit of yourself, and share a bit about the story of Shangoni Foods and the journey that you have taken thus far.
Thank you so much, guys, for having me. And I do hope to host you one day. If technology permits, maybe you can come and do your show at the restaurant.
Yes,
We don't know.
definitely, yes.
I'm there for the land.
Definitely. God willing, man. God willing, it will happen so that, one of these good days we can stream. Plus, the weather is starting to open up. It's starting to get a bit warmer now, so we can travel in the morning, come through to Shangoni Foods so that we can, do a live stream, show people, customers coming in and out, and what people buy in the morning and all of those things. So we can definitely try and make that one happen. But once again, thank you, and do enjoy the rest of your days, Pilisiwe.
Thank you so much, guys, and have a great one.
Thank you.
Bye.
Very cool stuff. From Mohoru on a balcony to a butchery that feeds both stomachs and spirits. Pilisiwe Sekawu reminds us that legacy can be built with firewood, faith, and fearless heart. Shangoni Foods isn't just serving meals, it's preserving memory, mentoring minds, and providing that tradition and proving that tradition is not a thing of the past. It's the flavor of the future. Whether it's skopo, umleqwa, or a simple plate of pap and chakalaka. Every dish tells a story. And today we've been blessed to hear hers. Pilisiwe, we want to thank you, Sisi, and for reminding us that when we cook with soul, we nourish more than just the body. We feed a nation's spirit. May your pots stay full and your dreams stay bold and your journey continue to rise like dumplings in a steam pot. A million times thank you, Sis Pilisiwe. We really appreciate you. So with that being said, everybody, let's perhaps maybe talk about birthdays. Any birthdays that you wanted to share on your side?
No, I don't have any birthdays today, hey?
No, nothing.
Just have like a belated birthday yesterday to a friend of mine and a former colleague of mine, Cynthia. So yesterday was her birthday, and she's now also a new mom. So congrats on being a mommy again, my baby.
Congrats
hearts and a bottle of joy. I see that the family is growing. Congratulations on the new baby that you have, my baby. And happy belated birthday. Imagine, so you and your child actually sharing the same month, because she gave birth sometime last week.
Okay.
Sometime last week during the week. So now they share the same month. This is pretty good, man. Congratulations, and I hope that you have a fantastic birthday. And I hope that motherhood continues to treat you beautifully and amazing, honey.
I love that. Are there any birthdays that you want to go through, maybe perhaps?
On celebrity birthdays. Let's see. Let me just scroll down for a bit.
Celebrity birthdays, so that we just shine a bit light on people celebrating the birthdays.
Oh, yeah. So celebrity birthdays for the 19th of August. We have Fat Joe. No, we're not talking about Fat Joe, the one South Africa. We're talking about Fat Joe, Aqua America.
Okay.
So I need to specify that
Definitely.
one. So Fat Joe was born on the 19th of August, 1970, and is turning 55 years old today. Interesting fact: his strong advocacy for healthcare reform has seen him become a powerful person right now. Besides him being known for the music industry alone, he's a rapper who has collaborated with artists such as Jennifer Lopez, Pastor Rhymes. He is best known for his 2004 hashtag #1 hit called Lean Back. Oh, na lean back.
Hey.
Na lean back. That's how old I am. And then we also have Tamin Susok. So Tamin Susok was born on the 19th of August in 1983 and will be turning 42 years old today. Now, interesting fact, awarded the Australian Century Medal in the 2001 King's New Year's Honours List for contribution to Australian society and acting. Australian Logie award-winning actress who played Jenna on the television series Pretty Little Liars alongside Ashley Bonson.
Oh, I see this lady, yeah.
Yes.
I watch PLL. Do you know PLL?
I'm trying to remember it, but I know of it, but at this moment I'm blank. Yes, and then we also have Manny Jacinto. Manny Jacinto was born on the 19th of August, 1987, and is turning 50. Oh, you don't look 50. Sorry.
1987.
Yeah, did you?
There's no 87.
87.
97 is
He's actually turning like what, 42, 43. No, it's a lie.
Yeah, 38, turning 38 today. Yeah, not 50.
Ew. Pelo.
No worries, let's move on.
Interesting fact, he has a degree in civil engineering from the University of British Columbia. Television and movie actor who landed starring roles on the Romeo section and The Good Place. In 2019, he was cast in Top Gun Maverick, man. So those are the 3 celebrity birthdays that we have for today. But before we leave or even go too far, let me just leave you with an inspirational message for today. You are not just enough, you are abundant. And then our quote for today is, you were born to stand out, not shrink back. Your light is needed. So please learn to stand out. Just know that we love you the way you are. Your light carries you through every dark tunnel that you may ever face in life. Learn to basically believe in yourself, because like I always say, you are your biggest supporter.
Yeah. Very cool stuff, man. I love people when people celebrate their birthdays. I don't know, there's just something about it. Like you mentioned, there's someone on your side who was celebrating their birthday, right? And of course, the coming into life, new life of the baby.
Mm-hmm.
I also have someone who celebrated their birthday over the weekend. Nonhlanhla Buthelezi. Someone I've known for the longest of times. She should be appearing. I don't know if you're seeing it there on the screen, Afroberry. But
hey, baby girl.
Yeah, man. Very, very cool lady, man. Very cool lady. Her and I know. But we didn't go to the same high school, but we went to high school around the same time. So Nonhlanhla was celebrating her birthday.
Nonhlanhla, you must let us know how old Musi is.
No, I'm 25. She'll tell you that I'm 25, guys. She's older than me. Nonhlanhla was celebrating her birthday this past Sunday, if memory serves well. Yeah. And so, yeah, man, like you said with your friend, I also hope that Ntantla had an amazing birthday, a huge happy belated birthday. And, I hope that it was filled with love, laughter, and all things great. And, looking forward to a great year ahead, of course, and that's filled with success and abundance and happy moments and all things great, man. You deserve it completely. So from us, the Vooka Breakfast Show, the Vooka team and the Vooka Nation, to everyone who celebrated their birthdays over the weekend and the past couple of days, and of course to everyone who's celebrating their birthdays today, send through their pictures, send through your voice notes so that we can help you wish them a happy belated birthday, and of course a happy birthday today. So with that being said, we'd like to say happy birthday! Woohoo! Yeah! Hip hip hooray! 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 Hey, man, happy birthday, man. I think we need to get a new one. There's a new one. I love that. Maniaga Lalamani. Happy birthday. I love that lady, man. So with that being said, we've been hanging out with you this morning, having such great conversations with amazing people. Tomorrow is no exception whatsoever. We're back with you bright and early in the morning between the hours of 7 and 10, taking such good care of you right here where radio meets TV, only and exclusively on the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blinko Network, coming to you live, streaming from the heart of Soweto. That is Dobsonville. Always spending some great quality time with myself, the one and only MOOCEE Mist. My name is Musi Mist, and I've been so happy, I've been excited to have spent quite a great Tuesday morning with you, the 19th of August, 2025. We meet back again right here, bright and early on a Wednesday morning, where we get into all things comedy. And of course, we discuss other things concerning about the right that both you and I have as citizens of the Republic of South Africa. I can't wait to jump into the conversation. And as well, we're going to be joined again by amazing guests, because you do know that we try to bring you great industry professionals, people who are doing amazing and cool and great stuff in and around our communities. And we continue to have all-encompassing, compelling, and of course thought-provoking conversations that are aimed at giving both you and I so much information and knowledge. But with that being said, Afriberry, talk to me. Any last thoughts before we get out of here?
My last thoughts are always that we love you and thank you very much for believing in us as a team from the Vooka Breakfast Show. Thank you very much for your support. We love you. We appreciate you for always tuning in, giving us the motivation, and we're also grateful for the fact that even if we're not here, you also miss us, and you know what? I just love you guys. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much to our guest. And from me, Afriberry, also known as Miss Berry Blaze. But to the dark of the berry, the sweeter than dun dun.
The conversation completely does not end here. It keeps continuing on our social media platforms using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. So that's Vooka Breakfast Show on Facebook and all other social media platforms. But it still continues also on our WhatsApp line by dialing the number 060-493-3226. That's 060-493-3226. Continue commenting, liking, subscribing, and doing the things that are necessary to be done so that you and I and the rest of the team can share our thoughts, our opinions, and everything else in between. You can also visit our website, www.vookadaily.co.za. That's www.vookadaily.co.za. But with that being said, let you and I and the rest of the team see each other bright and early tomorrow morning. Stay safe, stay warm, stay cautious on those roads, and God willing, we will be able to continue having a great energy exchange only and exclusively